pass. Rolling to his right. They throw it. The in route to Tanner. Steck makes the catch. Steck dives for the pylon. Touchdown!
Up by the Nuggets and an attack. That'll go for a kill from Anasteer.
Lamar looks for a block, makes a man miss at the 5. End zone touchdown, Swirls. Sets up middle. Jensen for the exclamation point kill.
30, the 20, the 15, the 10, and an 85-yard touchdown run for Landon Olsen.
Ulster Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
It's the midway point of the season for the number 1 ranked Fargo North Spartans and second ranked Fargo South Bruins as the rivalry continues tonight from the north side, with both teams eyeing a postseason run to the Dakota Bowl later this year. A pleasant, good, overcast and now rainy Friday evening. I'm Chase Miller alongside Joey Hughes on homecoming night for Fargo North. The Spartans are 4-0 on the season, outscoring their opposition by 41 points per contest, with wins against West Fargo, Horace, Grand Forks Central, Wahpeton, and Bismarck St. Mary's. NDSU football commit Peter Haugo has 441 yards rushing and 11 touchdowns on the ground this season for Fargo North. While for the Bruins, they're 3-1 on the year, with their lone loss coming at the hands of number 1 ranked Shanley in Class 3A. Against 2A competition, South is unbeaten, outscoring their opposition by 42 points, with wins against Williston Central and Devils Lake. Brevin Warwick has passed for 9 touchdowns for 514 yards here for the Bruins. Both teams are senior-laden in the starting lineups with varsity experience, particularly when you look at the offensive and defensive side of the ball. A win here tonight could determine who gets the number 1 seed heading into the postseason a little over a month from now. And our thoughts are with John Darling's family, as last weekend John passed away at 61 years old from an ATV crash in Becker County. John Darling, known as JD to those around him, was the athletic trainer at Fargo North for 2+ decades and has ties to both programs and schools professionally and family, with his kids attending Fargo South High. Fargo North throughout the season here, talking with head coach Adam Rowland as well, will be wearing a JD sticker on their helmets, and their coaching staff will be wearing those as well moving forward. Still to come on our pregame show, we'll take a look at games going on across the region, the latest Class 2A football polls, and we'll hear from Fargo North football head coach Adam Rowland, Fargo South head coach Tyler Kozel, chat about the game, and also remembering JD. It's the Spartans and the Bruins. It's number 1 versus number 2, or simply put, it's rivalry night from the north side. Our pregame show continues after this with our coach's conversation with Tyler Kozel next here on yourliveevent.com.
Through internet, telephone, and TV. And as your needs have changed, so has 702. Our dedication to our community and customers runs deep. So when you call, we listen. And you can trust that we'll never stop working to bring the latest technology to our friends and neighbors. Thank you for 20 years in business. The best is yet to come.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota. If you want help from a firm that has integrity and respect, strives for excellence, and is interested in the betterment of the community, look no farther than Onstead Twitchell Attorneys. Our team of attorneys has dedicated and talented professionals who are committed to improving the lives of their clients and providing custom legal solutions with integrity and excellence. We have offices in West Fargo, Hillsborough, Maddox, Page, and Castleton. Or visit our website, www.onsteadlaw.com.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms, saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage. Our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
I'm Darian Bitts. I'm confident on and off the field. And when it's time for college, I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nb.gov/confident.
I'm Doug Gray. I'm confident during the performance and when it's time for college. I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
Joining us now as part of our coaches conversation on our pregame show, the Fargo South Bruins and the Fargo North Spartans, is Bruins head football coach. That is Tyler Kozel here. And Tyler, for you guys, just like Fargo North, 4 games into the season, your only loss is to number 1 ranked Fargo Shanley in AAA. Other than that, defense has honed in really well. Offense, you got things clicking as well. And a big rivalry night here. But first things first, Tyler, midway through the season, how have you, from a coach's point of view, how would you assess your team, 4 games through the season here, Coach?
I think we're playing pretty well. We know coming into the year we had a pretty senior-heavy group that's played a lot of football games, and we're going to lean on that leadership, especially early in the season. And we're starting to develop some more depth in different areas, which is key for us. I know playing Fargo Shanley, that was a good eye opener for us with how well they play and how fast they play. Some things that we do need to improve on as a football team, but to be where we're at this point, we knew that this is a big one tonight for seedings for the playoffs and things going forward. But we're happy with where we're at to start the season.
And let's talk about the line play. I always like to talk with coaches, and most coaches will say, well, we love our running backs, we love our specialists, we love certain areas of our team, but sometimes the offense and defensive line doesn't get the clippings that they won a football contest or what they did, mattered. And for both teams able to protect a quarterback, open up some running lanes, get after the quarterback on the defensive side of the ball. What have you seen particularly, though, Tyler, from the offensive side that has allowed you to put a lot of points on the board so far this season?
Yeah, that's one thing where our running backs and receivers and defensive backs are getting a lot of accolades on things, but it's the game starts up front. I'm very impressed with how our offensive line and defensive line have played, controlling the line of scrimmage the first couple of weeks. We got Mato Gray went back from injury. That's helped a lot. And then we have some constant starters, Brody Anderson, Andrew Weber on the outside. Quinn Mears is coming back from an injury as well. And then we got a sophomore and a junior filling in with Xander Moody at center and Jacob Artek at a guard. And I think they're playing really well for us, open some holes for our running backs. Demarion, Dorian, and Colby are having great years on the ground, giving us time to throw the football as well. So that's been key. And same thing on the other side of the ball. Like you mentioned, we're playing pretty good defense right now. Those guys are getting pressure. Those guys are making things go to the outside. And kind of our linebackers are kind of getting a little bit of the glory, making a lot of the tackles. But I'm very impressed with how our kids are playing up front.
And then North-South week, I always like to talk with coaches about this on rivalries, particularly when it comes to North-South. You've been a part of it now for a little while here, Tyler. When you hear of North-South week when it comes to the gridiron, what kind of goes through your mind as a football coach?
Yeah, just going for this is year 7. I've been a part of this, and throw records out the door, throw anything out the door. It's going to be a battle. The last couple of years, we've always been playing in the rain. Adam and I joked about that, and potentially could have some of that later this evening. But yeah, it's a fun rivalry. I know North's going to have a great crowd there on Friday night. It's going to be a fun environment to play in. It's a big game. We split the season series last year, and I know that's not lost on our kids. And same with theirs. It's going to be a battle. They're 1, we're 2 in the state right now. Where we know if we were both sitting over, it's still going to be an absolute battle. So it's fun where we got this big game atmosphere, and we know that it's going to be a 4-quarter battle, and we're going to get their best. They're going to get our best.
Keys to the game here, Tyler, is it simply put offensive, defensive line, as we alluded to, is it there's one player in particular that you have to try to limit or try to take away from the explosive plays as much as possible when it comes to North having the ball, or vice versa? Maybe special teams can very much come into games like this as well. Where do you look at it from a coach's point of view? What's 1 or 2 areas you must do well tonight here against North?
Yeah, I know playing against these guys for many years. There's a lot of familiarity between the teams. We haven't really switched our schemes a whole lot in the last few years. It's just different personnel that we have. But They like to run the football. We like to run the football. They play aggressive defense. We play aggressive defense. So that's just going to come down to who makes less mistakes. I think on both sides, we got some of the best athletes, horses in the state on both ends. I mean, you look at Peter Halgo, some of the receivers they got. Ethan Walk's a very good quarterback. Their two tight ends are fantastic players. So across the board, it's going to be a tough, hard-nosed football game where both teams could be running the ball well. Both teams can be throwing the ball well. I mean, they're two pretty balanced teams, and we're pretty similar on what we like to do. So it'll just come down to mistakes on Friday, who makes the fewest and capitalizes off those mistakes, and it'll be a 4-quarter battle.
Final thing for you, Tyler, before I let you go, I'm going to ask Adam Rowland this same question as I'm going to ask you right now. With the passing again of the athletic trainer, John Darling from Fargo North's perspective, was with that program for a couple of decades here. When it comes to athletics, I know it's a small circle a little bit as well. Just kind of your thoughts on the passing of John Darling, how you had a one-on-one conversation and relationship with him. Just kind of what does John Darling, when you think of him, what comes to mind for you here, Tyler?
Yeah, first of all, absolutely heartbreaking. We feel for the Darling family, and I had both of John's students in my class. They were Fargo South graduates, so I got to know him both as a father of one of my students and as an athletic trainer. So I got to see both sides of him. Fun-loving guy, great guy. Always had a smile. Loved going over to events there and talking to him before the game. And obviously, just a great human being. My heart hurts for the Fargo North community and what they're having to deal with this week. It's hard to put into words with what's going on, but a lot of love going forward for the Darling family and Fargo North community. Never easy, but it's hard to say, and it's hard to get back to kind of normalcy because he's a staple on that sideline. So it's going to be a lot different game on Friday night, and we just feel for them.
Tyler, as always, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck throughout the rest of this season, but also tonight here against the Fargo North Spartans.
Thanks, Chase.
Tyler Kozla, head coach of the Fargo South Bruins, joining us here on our pregame show. We'll continue after this as we'll hear from Adam Rowland from Fargo North on YourLiveEvent.com.
R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is hiring a full-time play-by-play sports announcer and broadcast sales representative. Duties include selling advertising time for radio, digital, video streaming, and regional cable TV. Play-by-play responsibilities include live play-by-play of local sporting events for radio, video streaming, and regional cable TV broadcasts. Wage plus talent and commission pay structure with full-time benefits package offered. For more information or to apply, email apply@rjbroadcasting.com. That's apply@rjbroadcasting.com.
As we continue on our coaches conversation, joining us now from the Fargo North Spartans, that is Adam Rowland joining us here on homecoming night for Fargo North. It's also rivalry night when the Fargo South Bruins and the Fargo North Spartans tangle with one another. But before we get to that point here, Adam, a midway point of the season, a nice record 4-0 on the year so far. You're going to get challenged, obviously, tonight with Fargo South. But overall, so far, 4 weeks in terms of games, how have you assessed your team's performance on the football field here, Adam?
You know, we're doing kind of what we thought we would be able to do. You know, we had those teams we played. You know, we thought they would come out and battle us, and you know, we had to prepare. And the big one is we did a good job preparing. My coaching staff is absolutely amazing in preparation, and the guys, you know, took well to coaching and did exactly what we needed to do. And then it comes down to execution. You know, so. In terms of, if you look at some of the scores of those games, I think that's really a testament to the preparation that the coaches and the players put in during those weeks. You know, taking practice very seriously, taking the opponents very seriously, not overlooking anybody at any point. And that's been our message this year is you know, one play at a time. You know, or in practice, one rep at a time. one play at a time, one day, and then one game. And the guys are really taking that to heart and taking care of business, as we roll through. So it's really about the preparation and going back to even the winter, spring, and summer in preparing for really the first half of the season.
And for you guys here, Adam, it's easy to say Peter Haugo with his college commitment, with his rushing ability, scoring touchdowns last year into this year. Ethan at the QB spot, or you got some good wide receivers, tight ends who can make plays. But I know talking with coaches, they always say no matter what brand of football it is, it starts in the trenches. And offense and defensive line, if you can win that battle, you feel like you can win a lot of football games. And that's probably been part of your success as well here this season, Adam, is that offense and defensive line to give them a little bit of love here and ability to stop teams offensively, but also open up those lanes for Peter, so to speak, on a Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have exceptional skill players, and we start almost all seniors, across the board, on both offense and defense, and we're able to use young guys to get them in on special teams, and so our balance is really good there with, again, getting those young guys in. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Our offense and defensive line have really taken their job seriously starting in the off season and taking their role, really as the driving force of what we're trying to get done. Because we all know, again, those skill guys, they can't get much done. Maybe they can do a couple of things here and there by making a big play. But it all starts with the O&D line and the ability that we have to have some depth there now, finally. We've had some really good offensive linemen and defensive linemen in the past, but have been kind of thin. We're super fortunate here this year at North to have some depth, to be able to roll guys in and have guys step in. If there's a little bit of an injury or a guy needs to come out of the game for a little bit, we have guys that are ready to go and get in there. And then really on the D line, being able to roll guys in, to keep guys fresh and so on. And they've all accepted that role. They're extremely proud of it. They're very, very well coached by Coach Jerry Schneider and Jake Mackey, as their position coaches. And they're really the kind of the heart of the team. Skill guys get all the credit, all the love, all the media, all that stuff. But anybody and everybody who knows anything about the game of football knows you can't do much without those big guys.
Talking about Fargo South here, Adam, you played them in 2A in the playoffs recently. This is a good rivalry, obviously, for those who've been in around the Fargo Moorhead community. They get to see the next generation, their own sons, their own daughters, so to speak, play in this rivalry in some type of capacity. So when you hear of North South from your perspective, what does it mean to you?
Well, now having been at North, obviously longer than I was even at my own high school, being a part of the community, living up here and being here as long as I've been here now, it's a big deal, and rivalries are what's great about the game of football, about sports in general, right? When you have an opportunity to have a little bit extra, right? To add some excitement to the game, to add a little of that extra rivalry component to a game is something that definitely coaches can use and players can use to really make a fun and exciting season, right? And make it be what the games are really about, and it's going out having fun with your buddies playing football, right? But then adding that little extra into it to really make it truly meaningful.
And you, on top of it, it's homecoming night. I know over the weekend, athletic trainer, again, John Darling, passed away unexpectedly in a car crash. My just thoughts, Adam, for you, what did he mean for you specifically? What did he mean to the Fargo North program? And just kind of moving forward, how much have you talked with the guys, throughout the week from what happened throughout the weekend? Plus it's homecoming week. There's already a lot of emotions, coming into a week like this here, Adam.
Well, we talked to the guys about, what does it mean to really leave a legacy, right? And that's something that a lot of coaches talk about. And when I think of JD, just from my aspect of it, from a personal standpoint, coming here, I've been here for 13 years, and he was here long before that. To have a guy who is really as knowledgeable in sports as any coach, right? And a guy who is he was super easy to work with. I consider him not only a colleague but a friend, and really a mentor. As coming in, and then when I took over as head coach, having somebody who you completely trusted in, and that's what we talked about the guys. Someone who had the trust and respect of everybody around, so that we knew he was going to get his job done, and there was no question about it. He was going to do it with professionalism, and he was just really, really exceptional in that role for everybody in all sports. So we've talked to the guys about that. You look at the life that he lived in really service in the military, with the various sports programs that he was with prior to coming to Fargo North, and his work with the Special Olympics, and a family guy, and all that stuff. And I just told the guys, when it is your time at some point in time, how do you want to be remembered, right? And it's not going to be about money. It's not going to be about power. It's going to be about how many lives did you touch, and how big a difference did you make to other people. And I asked him, I go, look at JD. That is how you do it. I mean, that is how you go through life, is impacting people positively like that. And if you manage to do that, man, I mean, that's a life well lived. And that's how we've approached it. That's how I view JD, again, not only as a colleague but as a friend and mentor. And I really made the guys very aware of how much he meant. Some of them only knew him for 1 year, really. Freshmen and sophomores maybe got work to them, but the seniors and guys who had injuries were able to work with them and get to know them, and just a kind person and willing to help. So it's a tough loss for not only the Fargo North, but the community, and then any other program that the guy was with, that he worked with. He'll be missed.
Adam, as always, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck here this evening against the Fargo South Bruins, and best of luck down the line as well throughout the rest of this football season.
Thank you very much.
Adam Rowland, head coach of the Fargo North Spartans, with us here on our pregame show. When we come back, we'll continue after this between the Spartans and the Bruins on YourLiveEvent.com.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at Enbridge.com.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends, and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
As we return here to Fargo North High School before the national anthem of the starting lineups and the opening kick here tonight, a quick rundown of Fargo South so far. Wins this year against Williston, Grand Forks Central, and Devils Lake. Their lone loss 2 weeks ago on September the 8th against Shanley, 49-28. While for the Fargo North Spartans, 4-0 on this season with wins against West Fargo Horace, Grand Forks Central, Wahpeton, and St. Mary's. For head coach Adam Rowland, in his 10th year at the helm for the Spartans, 13th with the program. They're averaging 48 points per game offensively, while defensively giving up 7 points per contest for the Fargo South Bruins. 7th year for head coach Tyler Kolzel at Fargo South as the head coach, averaging 42 points per game offensively, while defensively giving up 15 points per contest here, as a nice filing crowd is coming on in here on homecoming night for Fargo North. And as we mentioned earlier, rivalry night, 1 versus 2 in the state. That and more, and a lot of on stake here this evening. Some other games across AA football here tonight. Red River at West Fargo Cheyenne. That's 2A versus 3A. That's the number 5 rated team in 2A going up against the ranked West Fargo Cheyenne team in 3A. Wahpeton makes their way to the Buffalo City for a date with the Jamestown Blue Jays here tonight. All these games with a 7 o'clock kickoff. Turner Mountain travels to Watford City, West Fargo Horace, and for Coach Harvey McMahon and the Hawks looking for their third straight win in their second year of a program history. Horace at Valley City tonight against the Highlanders. Grand Forks Central fresh off a Cushman Classic win against Red River. They are idle tonight. They will be back in action coming up next week. We'll have their game against West Fargo Horace a week from tonight on yourliveevent.com. Then Dickinson travels to Devil's Lake here this evening as well. So that's a look at some of the other games across AA, your Class A football poll. North is 1, South is 2, Jamestown 3, Dickinson 4, and again, Red River at number 5. That does it for our pregame show. We come back after this. It's the starting lineups and the opening kick against the 4-0 Fargo North Spartans going up against the 3-1 Fargo South Bruins here on the north side of Fargo for rivalry night as well. We come back. It's the starting lineups and the opening kick again here for Class 2A football on yourliveevent.com.
Every farmer has a good story about picking rocks. Want to hear ours? To this day, we pick rocks on our founder's farm, and they go into every Bell Bank branch we build. How's that for rock-solid commitment?
Every bank wants you to open an account. Then along come sneaky fees. Sneaky, sneaky. If you hate sneaky fees, switch to Bell Bank. We give sneaky fees the boot. Bell Bank.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in North Dakota. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the NDHSAA and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Keep your job site stocked with reliable service from Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Our team specializes in everything concrete. That means hand tools and equipment, rebar of all shapes and sizes, concrete forming packages and ICFs, decorative concrete materials like color, stain, sealers, and coatings. And let's not forget our impressive fleet of winter construction equipment to keep the concrete flowing all year round. If you've got concrete questions, we've got concrete answers at Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Visit us today at any of our 6 locations.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
Every Wednesday night at 7, watch the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show presented by the Hillsboro Economic Development Corporation. Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region, as we'll hear from area coaches in North Dakota and Minnesota. Plus, we'll highlight area high school seniors and their achievements in the classroom and on the court with our Senior Spotlight. That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show presented by the Hillsboro Economic Development Corporation, Wednesday nights at 7 on YourLiveEvent.com.
For 20 years, 702 Communications has been connecting people and businesses to the world through internet, telephone, and TV. And as your needs have changed, so has 702. Our dedication to our community and customers runs deep. So when you call, we listen. And you can trust that we'll never stop working to bring the latest technology to our friends and neighbors. Thank you for 20 years in business. The best is yet to come.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
As we return here on YourLiveEvent.com between the Spartans and the Bruins here on homecoming night for Fargo North, trying to keep their record unblemished at a 4-0 mark on the season, going up against Fargo South, who stands at 3-1 after the national anthem. The homecoming court will be announced here at halftime tonight for the festivities. Fargo South across the way on their white uniforms with those brown numerals and lettering here tonight with the Bruin paw on either side of that white helmet. While for the Fargo North Spartans, Fargo North on their all dark blue uniforms here this evening of Fargo North in their gold numerals here tonight. The opening coin toss was won by Fargo North. They elected to defer to the second half. Talking with Coach Tyler Kozel and Adam Rowland, there was no secrets thrown on who would be the difference in this type of football game, and that is, again, the particulars on the offensive and defensive line of the football. Both of them alluded to there's experience on those lines. Guys who have had opportunities to step up and play in a rotating role have been there. That and more here throughout the season. So for the Fargo South Bruins, we'll take a look at their offensive line, starting with the offensive lineman at the left tackle. He is Brody Anderson, one of the 3 seniors on the line for head coach Tyler Kozel. A junior is Jacob Ardick, a sophomore left guard. The center is Xander Moody, a junior center here this season for the Bruins. Murdo Graywin, a senior right guard, and at right tackle, a senior in Andrew Weber here tonight for Fargo South. From there, tight end is Reese Kessel. 9 receptions for 149 yards and 5 touchdowns on this season for Kessel. Wide receivers of George Hansgard and also Dwayne Mitchell. They have 3 touchdowns combined between the pair and nearly 250 yards through the air receiving. Fullback of Dorian Sandus, a senior with 3 rushing touchdowns, and also Demarian Sameko, a senior with 6 rushing touchdowns and 369 yards on the ground. And at quarterback, Brevin Warwick, the junior, 9 touchdowns on 514 yards of offense through the air and no interceptions. For Fargo South, they average 42 points per game, while defensively giving up, again, 15 points per contest. After tonight, the Bruins will make their way south to Fargo Davies a week from tonight for 3A versus 2A in the state of North Dakota. We go from there now to the Fargo North Spartans, as Fargo North will get to their starting lineups here in a moment. Head coached by Adam Rowland in his 10th year as the head man, averaging 48 points per game offensively and defensively, giving up 7 points per contest. Fargo North runs a 3-4-4. We'll start with the men up front. Carter Zeller, a senior at 6'6" at 225 pounds. Then you have Peter Davis, another senior at 6'5", 305 at the defensive line spot. And Xavier Buckmiller, a senior at 6'1", 245 here up front for Fargo North. Linebackers, Joe Bjorkman, a senior with Sam Friddle, also a senior. Friddle with an interception this season. Bjorkman with 15 tackles. Peter Halgo, a 6'1" senior at a linebacker spot, and also a awfully good running back in his own right. Jim Miller, another linebacker, no relation, a senior at 6 foot, 205 pounds. Defensive backs of Peyton Trogstead and Carson Hannestead, and safeties of Parker Dush and Owen Bame. Bame with 2 interceptions here on this season. For Fargo North and Fargo South here on rivalry night. For the Fargo North Spartans, after tonight, they will travel to Red River for a date with the Rough Riders, who are playing at West Fargo Cheyenne this evening. Fargo South's opponent next week up in the Magic City, going up against Minot High. That does it for our starting line. As we come back, it's kickoff time from Fargo North between the Bruins and the Spartans on YourLiveEvent.com.
If you want help from a firm that has integrity and respect, strives for excellence, and is interested in the betterment of the community, look no farther than Onstead Twitchell Attorneys. Our team of attorneys has dedicated and talented professionals who are committed to improving the lives of their clients and providing custom legal solutions with integrity and excellence. We have offices in West Fargo, Hillsborough, Maddox, Page, and Castleton. Or visit our website, www.onsteadlaw.com.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms. Saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage. Our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
As we're back here ready for kickoff on your liveevent.com, Chase Miller alongside Joey Hughes. Thank you so much for tuning in to high school football tonight here on your liveevent.com. One of a myriad of games, 8 games tonight across the Red River Valley here this evening between Minnesota 11A and 9-man football in North Dakota as well. Fargo North again won the coin toss, elected to defer. The Spartans will put this ball on the tee with Max Watson here for Fargo North. Returning back for the Fargo South Bruins, you will have Darian Semenko, and also back there here it looks with A.J. Moore, respectively back at their own 5-yard line. The opening kickoff at 6:06 on a Friday night. Welcome to the weekend, and Semenko has a crease to the 20-yard line. Stiff arms a man, still on his feet at the 30, 35, and bulldozes Watson over to the 50. He's still loose, 40. Could he take the opening kickoff back? And he's tripped up at the 23-yard line. Semenko, how do you do to begin a Friday night? And Fargo South is knocking on the door. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. So a great starting field position here for the Fargo South Bruins. With Semenko there making his way with a stiff arm and able to get almost to the end zone. A highlight play by the senior right off the bat here, in Fargo South will handle it with great starting field position at the Spartan 23-yard line. Shotgun formation for the Bruins, a wide receiver split out either side. Kessel, the tight end, lines up to the right-hand side north with 7 men in the line. Little handoff. This will go to Stanis, who bounces his way off a Fargo to get to about the 16-yard line. He's wrapped up and met there for a tackle by Friddle, but a gain of 6 yards here to open things up for the Fargo South Bruins. And for Fargo South and Fargo North, both teams will be playing with some heavy hearts again with the passing of John Darling, the athletic trainer for the Fargo North Spartans over 2+ decades here. Coach Tyler Colzo for Fargo South was able to teach his 2 students at Fargo South over his tenure. That was a quick pitch and catch to Dwayne Mitchell. Good coverage on the outside here from the Fargo North Spartans, and Owen Bayman on the tackle. That'll actually make it back to the 17. So a loss of 1 on the play makes it 3rd and 5. So the Fargo South Bruins will need the Spartan about 12-yard line. They do have an awfully good kicker in his own right in Keaton Dockin. Going from left to right across your screen, or from the south to the north end zone, would be kicking into the wind here this evening. Kessel lines up into the slot position. Shotgun formation for Brevin Wark. Fargo North, they're going to bring 4. Wark rolls right-hand side. Kessel somehow makes the catch at about the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 1. Peter Haugo was there on a tackle alongside with Peyton Trogstead. So a gain of 1 and decision time for Coach Tyler Kozel. That was a dangerous pass that came across the way. Very well covered for the Fargo North Spartans. Looks like Fargo South is going to go for it here as the ball's between the 15 and the 16-yard line. Again, they need the Spartan 12. Shotgun formation. Fargo North's defense looking to bow up here after the Bruins started at the Spartan 23-yard line. This one will go to the outside. Semenko trying to get to the edge, makes a cut, looking for a tackle on a block, and he's going to get tackled at the 15, and the Spartan defense holds. Peyton Trogstead comes in on the tackle, maybe a gain of about a half yard to a yard, and that is it here for Semenko. So a turnover on downs, and after a great kickoff return, that goes awry as the North defense stiffens here early in the first quarter. Fargo North will handle the football now at their own 15-yard line. For the Fargo North Spartans, under center here is Casson Dick. You have guards of Jordan Zander and Jack Miller. The right tackle of Xavier Buckmiller and Jackson Higgins here at left tackle for the Fargo North Spartans. Motion man coming in. They'll fake this reverse, throwing it down the field here as well. Looking for him at the 45. That's going to be incomplete as they were looking to the outside for the intended wide receiver there of Zeller. Good coverage on the play here for the Fargo South Spartans makes it 2nd and 15. And that wind that was more going from north to south, if you will, now it's a little bit more of a crosswind here on the north side of Fargo. Also in the starting lineup here for Fargo North, Peter Haugo at tailback. Also with him is another senior and Jim Miller. You'll see a handful of wide receivers between Dosh, Hannestead, Schilling, tight ends of Rose and Zeller here for the Spartans when they have the ball offensively. 2nd and 10 here. Stretch handoff. This goes to Peter Haugo to the 15-yard line. Gets to the numbers, and Haugo gets thrown out at about the 18. Fargo South, Jerry Gibson in on the tackle for a gain of 3. Fargo South goes for a 4-3-3 defense. Kessel and Hofford on the line with Weber and Brody Anderson. Linebackers of Kobe Nissen, Dorian Sandness, and Alex Cassette. Defensive backs of A.J. Moore and Jerry Gibson. Aiden Hertz, a free safety, and Semenko at strong safety. 3rd and 6 here for the Spartans, as they will need their own 25 for the first. Shotgun formation for Ethan Welk. They'll roll the pocket right-hand side. Welk with a chance to run or throw, looking to throw the football, and that's going to be incomplete at the 27-yard line. Intended for Hannestead across the way. In on the coverage is Aiden Hertz, and it's a 3-and-out to start the game for the Fargo North Spartans. So North will have to punt this football away, as they will come out now. Owen Boehm, the punter this season. He's only had 5 punts in 4 games, averaging 31 yards a boot. For Fargo South, standing back at the 40-yard line is Dwayne Mitchell. So the defenses have been the strong suit in the first possession here. Boehm with the right-footed kick gets this one up in the air. That'll go towards the Fargo North sideline here, and we'll see where they spot it, as they will walk it up the field past the 40, as you see the official keep walking to about the 45 on the Spartan sideline, and he'll make it there at the 48. So a punt from the 19 to the 48, 33 yards on the punt, right about at the average for Boehm, and Fargo South will have, again, great starting field position for their second drive of the contest. Both defense stiffening up early here. How can the offense find a way, either some big plays or try to keep something consistent going in their own right, will be the question. Fargo South twins both left and right. Shotgun formation for Warwick in the gun. Handoff. This one will go right up the middle, and getting blown up is Semenko. The linebacker coming in unevaded here for the Fargo North Spartans, with Jim Miller making a good pad-popping tackle here for Fargo North. So able to get to about the 48-yard line here for Semenko. 2 carries for a yard, but Miller, like a cannon, was able to eat up that gap play on that particular one with Semenko. And Nemarian here for Fargo South in his own right, 5'9", $180. As they will send trips to left-hand side, 1 to near sideline here. Play clock stands at 20. Fargo South will handle the football here. Quick screen to the outside, and they got some room to the 45. Breaks the tackle, 40. Keeps moving, 35, and dragging a Spartan with them to the 30-yard line. Fargo South with Jaden Middleton with a 22-yard pitch and catch on a quick screen. 1st and 10 Bruins. So Middleton able to get to the outside here. And just like that, Fargo South is right back in business here on YourLiveEvent.com. 1st and 10 Bruins at the Spartan 30-yard line. Goes out of bounds, stops the clock with 8:29 here. Second possession of the game for Fargo South. Rolling out is Warwick. Warwick looking for a man. Throws it to about the 10-yard line. Incomplete. The intended receiver for Fargo South is Hansgaard. And the Fargo North with Peyton Trogstad in on the coverage makes it 2nd and 10. for Brevin so far through the air. Efficient, 3 of 4 for 22 yards here for the Fargo South Bruins. 3 carries for 7 yards between Sandnes and Semenko here tonight for Fargo South. One wide receiver left-hand side for the Bruins, going to be Mitchell. Trips near sideline, shotgun again for Warwick. We'll see if the Spartans bring some pressure with 3 down linemen, 4 on the line. Play clock down to 4. They get the play off. They run a stunt on the inside. Nice little out route. Close to the first down there on the catch to Mitchell. We'll see, depending on the spot. They needed the 20, and they're going to give him the 20-yard line and move the chains for 10 yards. Mitchell, 2 catches for 9 yards here on the evening for Fargo South, as the Bruins now are inside the red zone for the second time here in this contest. Shotgun formation again. And in high school football, you step out of bounds, so the clock continues to stay put at 8:18. QB keeper here able to maybe muscle his way for a yard as Warwick, and Haugo and company come in for the tackle. That'll make it now 2nd and 9. Well, the season for Brevin does have 17 carries for 50 yards coming into this evening's game for the Bruins. It makes it now 2nd and 9 for Fargo South. But if you're head coach Tyler Colsey, you got to love how the game at least started with that big kickoff return by your senior in Semenko. Unable to punch it in the first time, but your defense forces a 3-and-out, and now you're right back in business. For Fargo North, they stood the test the first time, trying to do it the second time here against Fargo South. Play clock down to 5, shotgun formation for Warwick. Read option, this will go up inside Semenko, trying to push the pile forward. Zeller got him down low to start with for about a 2, maybe 3-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 6 at best here for Fargo South, as they'll spot it at the 17-yard line. So gain of about 2. So they will need the 10. Last time we saw Fargo South in this same position, they went for it on 4th down and about 5, didn't get it. Again, Keaton Dockin, their kicker, does have a field goal from 36 yards this season. This would be in his range right now at about a 34, 35-yard field goal if they don't gain another yard. Fargo North puts 2 men up front in the A gap. They're bringing pressure. Rolling right-hand side is Brevin. Looks into the end zone for Kessel. Incomplete at the goal line. It went through Kessel's arms. Fargo North with Parker Dosh in on the coverage. Maybe got his hand just in front of it enough to kind of throw Kessel off a little bit. Makes it an incomplete pass. And now a 4th down opportunity and a field goal here for the Bruins. This will be from the far hash, and it'll be a 34-yard attempt. Holding here for Fargo South is Jake Kennedy, a sophomore. Long snapper of Xander Moody, trying to give the Bruins a lead here tonight. Early in the first quarter. Clean snap, the hold, right-footed end over end kick on the way is a high pooch. That's going to split the uprights, and it's good. Keaton Dockett puts the Fargo South Bruins on the board. Midway through the first quarter play, the Bruins strike first here on your liveevent.com.
I'm Darian Bitts. I'm confident on and off the field. And when it's time for college, I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nb.gov/confident.
I'm Doug Gray. I'm confident during the performance and when it's time for college. I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is hiring a full-time play-by-play sports announcer and broadcast sales representative. Duties include selling advertising time for radio, digital, video streaming, and regional cable TV. Play-by-play responsibilities include live play-by-play of local sporting events for radio, video streaming, and regional cable TV broadcasts. Wage plus talent and commission pay structure with full-time benefits package offered. For more information or to apply, email apply@rjbroadcasting.com. That's apply@rjbroadcasting.com.
As we come back here on yourliveevent.com, I'm Chase Miller. He's Joey Hughes, and a 34-yard field goal by Keaton Dockin has given the Fargo South Bruins the opening points on this contest here, as Fargo North will be back to receive after the right-footed end-over-end kick. This goes to about the 10-yard line. on the way here for Fargo North. They got a good opportunity. There goes Sam Adams Vando. Sam keeps going to the 50, and special teams have played a big part early in this first quarter for both clubs respectively. A little bit of a scrum after that one. And Fargo North will be in business here on their second possession of the contest at the Bruin 45-yard line. Fargo South able to take nearly 3 minutes off that last drive. As Fargo North now will handle the football in a pistol formation. One wide receiver split on either side, and see if the Spartans can take advantage of the short field. Motion man goes tight end Zeller from left to right alongside with Miller. Handoff, here goes Haugo. Haugo going to get met up inside, but spins his way. Nissen in on the tackle as Peter Haugo is able to get to the 41 for a gain of 4. Haugo so far 2 catches for 7 yards for the 6'1" senior at 210 pounds. You win this contest if you're Fargo North. You try to go to 5-0. You win this contest for Fargo South, looking to go to 4-1. Shotgun formation on the way here for the Spartans. Haugo motions in the backfield. QB keeper with Welk. Ethan pops his way past the 35 and dives to about the 34-yard line. 5 yards on the rush, enough for the first down here. First carry of the night here for Ethan. Came in with 11 carries for 53 yards and a touchdown on the ground. Fargo North driving to that north end zone with the wind a little bit at their back. One wide receiver split out either side, and Schilling and Hannestead on the near side. Welk in that pistol formation. Play action. Welk has time, throws it, a nice ball down the field for Miller, who gets popped at the 12. Incomplete. Coming in and hitting him is Jerry Gibson, who timed it perfectly. But Welk was able to do a good job of lofting that football past the coverage there, but it gave enough time for Gibson to turn around and find where the intended receiver and Jim Miller was, and able to give him a clean hit there to get that football out of his hands. 2nd and 10 now for the Fargo North Spartans. As we'll have a flag on the play. So this will go on Fargo South for 5 yards. The first penalty for either team here tonight. Fargo North will take advantage as they will split out again a wide receiver either side. Bruin fans stopping and making some noise in the bleachers. Haugo able to go through the teeth of this Bruins defense and carrying a defender with him to about the 25-yard line for a gain of 5. In on the tackle looked to be Andrew Weber, part of that tackle party here for Fargo South. But for Haugo again, keeps the yards turning. 3 carries now for 12 yards, 1st and 10. Spartans trying to answer that 34-yard field goal from Dokken on the last possession from Fargo South. Pistol formation again for Ethan Welk. He'll go to the right-hand side. It's an option play. Welk gets a cut, spins at the 10, Welk to the 5, hot steps into the end zone. Touchdown, Spartans. With 4:54 left to play in the opening quarter, Ethan Welk with a house call of 24 yards. 2 carries for 29 yards for Welk, and on the ensuing possession after a Bruins field goal, the Spartans take the lead. Max Watson, 25 of 27 with point after attempts on the season, comes on to kick the PAT. Clean snap, hold the right-footed end over end kick. It's going to be good, and with 4:54, we have a new score. It's Fargo North at 7-3 over Fargo South.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Scoring drive for the Fargo North Spartans is able to go 45 yards for the touchdown on the drive, in a drive that goes just over 1 minute and 30 seconds here for the Spartans. So both teams get stopped on their first. Turnover on downs for South North, had to punt. Second drive of the game for this is going to be tight at the 1 yard line. Fargo South thought it was going to go all the way into the end zone, making a man miss the 5 yard line, and Fargo South thought that that ball was going to go in the end zone, but like a good pitching wedge, just had a little backspin on it, and the Bruins now are going to be on the shadow of their own end zone. A.J. Moore able to get it out of the end zone to about the 7, and Fargo South will handle their third possession of the game nearly on the shadow of their own end zone. That's a tough one from a Bruin perspective. Both returners kind of said, all right, on turf, you'll kind of get a hop here past the 5 into the end zone instead of just stopped at the 1. So Fargo South now with 92 yards in front of them here in the first quarter. Fifth possession so far the game combined for both of these teams, and we still have 4:50 left in the opening quarter. Trips to left-hand side, shotgun again for Brevin Warwick. Warwick looking for the speed option play to Semenko. Semenko gets the numbers and then takes Spartans with him to about the 15. Good pursuit by a handful of Fargo North Spartans. To come in on the tackle, Joe Bjorkman able to pop him first. That's going to be a gain of about 8, however, though, for Semenko. 4 carries now for 15 yards. That's a good first down play here for Fargo South to give them some breathing room a little bit. Again, past their own 10 and now to the 15. Near hash, 3 wide receivers split out left-hand side. Warwick again in the shotgun. Warwick, quick screen to the outside here. That'll go Middleton. Middleton going to be close to a first down. They'll say he's tackled inbounds at the 19. That is enough for a first of 3 yards. Middleton so far 2 catches for 25 yards here for the Bruins as a 5'11 senior. 2 times we've seen it go to the outside a little bit on that quick screen action. One to left-hand side is Mitchell. Trips again here for the Bruins in the shotgun. Fargo North with 3 down linemen and a 3-4 defense. Handoff Semenko. Semenko gets the outside 25-20. Look out 30. Semenko to the 35-yard line before he's wrapped up there. That could have went a lot farther than what it did. Parker Dosh in on the tackle, but not before Semenko goes 16 yards on the ground. 5 carries for 31 yards here for the senior, who has been running with a purpose here tonight for Fargo South, from that opening kickoff to what we've seen so far here this evening. Both teams talked about it. You give both of these running backs an opportunity to find a lane and some daylight. They'll make the most of it no matter who they'll play this season. 1st and 10. Nearly 3 minutes left to play here in the opening quarter. Quick screen to Middleton again. Middleton looks for a block by Kessel. Tries to get another one, but great pursuit here for the Spartans. Be right back to line. Peter Haugo was in on the tackle. Also with Parker Dosh here makes it now 2nd and 10. So far for Brevin through the air, 6 of 8 for 35 yards passing. Middleton 3 catches now for 25 yards. For Fargo South, downs, field goal. What's the 3rd possession of the game going to bring? Trips to the left-hand side again. Fargo North been consistent about bringing 4, maybe 5 guys for pressure. Handoff, Semenko trying to go through right the heart of the teeth here for Fargo North, and they weren't having it that time. A yard, maybe 2 on the play here for Semenko. So 3rd and long here for the Bruins, as they will need their own 45-yard line for the first. Both teams with all 3 timeouts remaining here in the opening quarter. Brevin Warwick in the shotgun is what we'll see him in for pretty much the majority of the night here for Fargo South. Kessel lines up at the tight end spot to the left of the line. Play clock down to 10 and counting. Warwick sets it up outside Semenko, makes a man miss. Haugo gets to the 40-yard line, looks for the first down. He puts the right-handed shoulder pad down for the first for a gain of 11. Made Haugo miss in space. You go to the outside, give it to your man in space, see what he can do with it. Well, that's 11 yards for the first. I haven't said that too often this season for Semenko in terms of receptions. That's just his third reception of the season. 90 seconds left to play here in the opening quarter. Fargo South, the drive started back at their own 8-yard line here for the Bruins. Now at midfield, right on top of that Spartan emblem. Shotgun handoff, here goes Nissen. Nissen gets tripped up in the backfield for a loss of 1. As he was cutting, he might have rolled into his own ankles there. As Nissen will have his first carry of the night for a -1 yard for the 6-foot Buck-90 senior. Peter Haugo will come out for a moment here, and we'll see both of these teams rotating players in and seed and senior laden for these clubs, especially when it comes to the line play here this evening. Shotgun for Fargo South. Brevin Warwick again in the gun. Looking, has a man deep post pattern, incomplete at the 30-yard line, looking for Mitchell. And on the coverage for Fargo North is Carson Hannestead, makes it 3rd and long. Situations that we haven't seen for Fargo South this evening has been 3rd and long varieties, as it is going to be here at 3rd and 11. Clock stops with 38 seconds left here in the opening quarter. For Fargo South right now, they will come out in the shotgun with one wide receiver split to the left-hand side. Now it's going to be in a trips here. 6 seconds on the play clock. They're looking, getting thrown as he was hit, trying to find his man at the 30. Backwards catch by Fargo South with Hannensgaard. Hannensgaard, like a center fielder, was taking a couple steps backwards at about the 35, spun his way around to the 27-yard line for a gain of 26 yards. Hannensgaard with a acrobatic kind of grab right there. 72 yards passing so far for Brevin. Just put it out in front of your man, give him a shot. That's exactly what the QB was able to do for Fargo South. Brevin Warwick, a junior at 6 foot and 175 pounds. This could be the final play of the quarter. Handoff, here goes Nissen, has some room to the 20. Nissen needs the 17. They'll give him the 18 for a gain of 9, and that's how we'll end this first quarter of play. After one quarter of play from the north side of Fargo on homecoming night, it's number 1 Fargo North 7, number 2 Fargo South 3 on your liveevent.com.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends, and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Every farmer has a good story about picking rocks. Want to hear ours? To this day, we pick rocks on our founder's farm, and they go into every Bell Bank branch we build. How's that for rock-solid commitment?
Every bank wants you to open an account. Then along come sneaky fees. Sneaky, sneaky. If you hate sneaky fees, switch to Bell Bank. We give sneaky fees the boot. Bell Bank.
Make sure you stay tuned to our halftime show, brought to you in part by First Class Mortgage. We'll take a look at the first half numbers, your out-of-town scoreboard, with a vast majority of the game starting at 7 o'clock this evening, so it'll just be more who's playing who than when it comes to actual score updates once we get there. That and more all coming up on our First Class Mortgage halftime show. For the Fargo South Bruins, they've taken 4 minutes and 50 seconds off this drive so far and counting once we get to this play. In the shotgun is Warwick. One wide receiver split out either side. Handoff goes Semenko looking to bust it to the outside. Good pursuit here from the Spartans. And they got a tackle up high and down low. Up high here for Fargo North was Owen Boehm, the senior. And I'm not sure they got to the 17. And if they did, they just got the yard here for Fargo South. And they're going to give them the yard for the first down. Didn't get it by much, but enough for Semenko. 7 carries for 34 yards. The QRF comes into Class AA and AAA again, depending on how the seed lines go. So every win helps your cause. A loss, depending on who you play, might not drop you too far down. But again, the goal is to be a top 2 seed, as your side of the bracket would roll all the way through the Dakota Bowl if you can take care of business. 1st and 10, handoff. Semenko makes a cutback, and he puts the helmet down to about the 10-yard line. A couple of Bruins and Spartans going after it on the far side of the field. As Semenko, the healthy gain of maybe 7 to 8 yards there on the first, as they will mark it at the 10. So a gain of 8 yards here for Semenko. 8 teams make the playoffs. There's 12 in AA. And for both of these teams right now, a win would nearly almost clinch probably a top 4 seed here tonight with other results throughout the season. 2nd down and 2. Trying to push the pile forward, unable to do so, to about the 10-yard line here for the Bruins. As Semenko and Sandnes, one wears 21, one wears 22. Semenko now 9 carries for 42 yards. 3rd down upcoming, and here's where North's defense has made a pretty good stand. Able to have a turnover on downs, force a field goal for Tyler Kolzel and company. They want the first down, and they want a touchdown to regain the lead. Fargo North, we'll see if they bring some pressure on 3rd and short. Bruins need about that 7-yard line nearly for the first. Pass play on the way, going for a deep out pattern to Kessel. That'll be incomplete in the end zone and makes it 4th down. And here comes a field goal opportunity for Fargo South, so they're going to want to take the points with Dockin. About a 27-yard field goal upcoming here for Dockin between the hashes. Just off to the right-hand side here for Fargo South. As they will come on here for the Bruins. Dockin made one from 34 earlier today. This one will be inside 30 at 27 yards. Play clock at 2. They get the play off. Here's the right-footed kick by Dockin, end over end, and that is good. Fargo South trims the deficit down to 1 on a drive that goes 6 minutes here that started at their own 8-yard line. But the Spartans' defense bends but doesn't break as they lead it by 1. Kickoff is next here on your live event.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in North Dakota. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the NDHSAA and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Keep your job site stocked with reliable service from Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Our team specializes in everything concrete. That means hand tools and equipment, rebar of all shapes and sizes, concrete forming packages and ICFs, decorative concrete materials like color, stain, sealers, and coatings. And let's not forget our impressive fleet of winter construction equipment to keep the concrete flowing all year round. If you've got concrete questions, we've got concrete answers at Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Visit us today at any of our 6 locations.
A pair of field goals by Dockin has give Fargo South 6 points. For Fargo North, their lone touchdown on a running play from Ethan Welk of 24 yards is the difference maker right now, and that point after attempt by Watson. Here's the right-footed end-over-end kick on the way that goes to about the 5-yard line. Fargo North with a head of steam in front of them here in mid for the Spartans gets to about the 37-yard line in Parker Dosh. So Dosh with a good return of about 32 yards, and the Spartans will handle it for their 3rd drive of the opening half. Fargo North will receive to get the ball to start the 2nd half. Both teams with all timeouts remaining here in this 2nd quarter. Spartans on their last drive were able to go 45 yards for the touchdown. Capped off again by that 24-yard scamper by Ethan Welk. Trips in a tight formation in a bunch to the left. Shotgun here. Fargo South with 6 men in the box. Welk on a QB keep it. This time the Bruins were ready for the QB keeper as Welk maybe gets about a yard, and that was it to the 38-yard line. Nissen was in on the tackle for Fargo South. Also in there was Quinn Mears, a senior at 6'3". 3 carries for 30 yards here for the senior quarterback. Shotgun formation again, 1 wide receiver split out either side in the pistol as Zeller motions to the left-hand side. Fargo South with 5 men at the line, and we're going to get a flinch. This one will go against the left tackle Jackson, and that'll make it the first penalty of the game for Fargo North. 1 for 5 for the Spartans and 1 for 5 here for the Fargo South Bruins when it comes to penalties tonight. Been a pretty clean game overall so far in the opening 15 minutes. After tonight for Fargo North, 2 road games in a row at Red River and at Devil's Lake. For Fargo South, they will make their way down the 25th Street to Davies next week before hosting St. Mary's on October the 6th. 2nd and 14 for the Spartans. Pitch play, Haugo. This one goes to about the 30 on the pitch. Reese Kessel did a really good job going right after the quarterback, and by the time the pitch went to Haugo, that was just unable to get much of anywhere here for the Spartans. And the Spartans again at quarterback there with Carson Hannestead at the wide receiver spot for the senior with Ethan Welk, with Kessel just unable to get much on that one. So 3rd and 16 now for a loss of 4. Fargo South, they'll bring 4. Welk with some time gets hit, throws it, finds Zeller for the first down at about the 50-yard line. Semenko in on the tackle, but not before a pitch and catch of 19 yards. Zeller with his first catch of the night, the first completion for Ethan. And Welk took a shot, but able to throw it out far enough under Zeller to go make a running catch and get the first down. And the Spartans now with a fresh set of downs right at midfield in the pistol formation as Zeller goes left to right. Welk with a hard count handoff. Here goes Miller. Miller trying to dance by Sandness, unable to do so as the middle linebacker Dorian Sandness read that play right from the chute. And that'll maybe be about a potential almost loss of a yard, but they'll still keep him at the 50-yard line. So Jim Miller with 2nd and 10, that'll be his 12th carry on the season. Does have a rushing touchdown as well for the 6', 205-pound senior. So you start looking up at the clock a little bit here, and how many more possessions will both teams get in this first half. 3rd for Fargo North, 3 so far for Fargo South. Pistol again for the Spartans. This one will go to Miller, and Fargo South was not having any of it. Alex Cassette comes unblocked for a tackle, a loss of about 4. They're trying that little counter here on the way to Miller, and Cassette, no one went to go block him, so it's a loss of 4 yards. 3rd and long now for the Spartans. They converted on a 3rd and 16 last time here on this position to Carter Zeller. What do you drop on 3rd and 14? Spartans will come out in that pistol formation. Haugo in the backfield. 2 wide receivers near sideline. Motion man going right to left, and we have a timeout. We'll break as well as they get the timeout with the play clock at 0. 7:17 left to play in the opening half. 3rd and 14 for the Spartans, and we return on your liveevent.com.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
First time out of the game for either club comes for the Fargo North Spartans, where head coach Adam Rowland, 10th year as the head coach, 13th year in this program, 3 years as a assistant, now 10 years as a head coach, 37 wins, 52 losses. The last couple of years, though, 7 wins, semifinals, Dakota Bowl appearance. They want to get back to the Dome this season here for Fargo North, playing in this second highest class in high school football at AA this season. 3rd and 14 for the Spartans. Looking for Miller. That one's almost picked off at the 40. Fargo South just playing center field was Aiden Hertz, the safety, and nearly had an interception as Welk was trying to rifle one in there for a first down to Miller instead. It'll be 4th and 14. Welk now 1 of 5 passing for 19 yards. He hit Zeller. And a punt time, the second punt of the game here for Fargo North with Owen Boehm. So Boehm will be to punt for Fargo South. Mitchell, the senior, stands back at his own 20-yard line here for Fargo South. Boehm drops it. Now has to get the ball off, kicks it. This will be off the side and to about the 37-yard line. So in the books, that'll be a loss of 10 from the 46 to the 36, maybe the 37. It'll be a -9-yard punt here, and special teams right now for both have played efficiently until that particular one here for Boehm. As he was looking to punt the ball, he just dropped it, and then by the time he recovered, fortunate it wasn't a block, he was able to get it off his right foot to the 37. So a -9-yard punt will make it first down and 10 here for Fargo South at the Spartan 37-yard line. Second time today that South has started in Spartan territory. Semenko on the outside here getting chased, makes a stiff arm to the 35 and pushed out of bounds eventually at about the 32-yard line here from the Spartans. Parker Dosh able to push him out, but not before getting past that 35. They'll mark him at the 31, so 6 yards on the rush. Semenko now 10 carries for 48 yards. You got to like that average if you're head coach Tyler Kozel. And again, gang kind of tackling is going to be the name of the game against both of these running backs, quite frankly, whether it's Halgo on one side or so far Semenko here for the Fargo South Bruins. Under 7 minutes to play in the opening half. Second and short, Fargo South. They'll give it to the outside to Kessel. Kessel to the 25, Kessel to the 20, and he gets tackled at about the red zone. Parker Dosh comes in on the tackle. They'll give him the 19 for 12 yards on the pitch and catch. Kessel, 2 receptions for 13 yards. Brevin now with 84 yards passing through the air, and the Bruins. Here is the riddle right now for Fargo South. How do you find Pater? How do you get in the end zone? For Fargo North, we'll try to stiffen up again and leave this Bruins team to just a field goal opportunity at best is what North wants. Shotgun again. Handoff. This goes to Semenko, and Semenko gets hit up high and hit down low. Really good tackle in on the play here for Fargo North with Peter Davis, the 6'5 senior, to start it off, and Semenko gets about a yard on the rush. All 3 timeouts here for Fargo South, so they wouldn't mind again bleeding some clock before Fargo North gets one more crack at it, then starts with the football in the second half. For the Fargo North Spartans trying to get it to a 3rd down here quickly and see if you can bring on again the kicker in Keaton Dockin to come back on the field and kick a field goal and try to keep them out of the end zone here. Play clock to 5. They get it off. Rolling right-hand side is Wark. Wark has some time, finds a man. This will be the 10-yard line for Fargo South. They're right at the sticks with George Hansgaard, the senior. Going to depend on the spot. I don't think he got to the actual 10. It might be 10 and about a quarter. And they'll make it a 3rd and short. They'll mark it at the 11. So 7 yards on the catch for 91 yards now through the air. Hansgaard 2 catches for 33 yards. 3rd and short for Fargo South. As they will come out here with Sandus and Semenko in the backfield and work the quarterback with the play clock to 6 and counting. Handoff, Sandus. Sandus trying to roll his way past the 10, does to about the 9 for a gain of 2. Sandus, 2 carries now for 8 yards. First and goal, Bruins at the Spartan 9-yard line. Clock will stop for a moment for that first down. Fargo South so far, turnover on downs, field goal, Fargo North, punt, touchdown, and punt here for the Bruins. Kessel in the slot formation, right-hand side for the Bruins is Mitchell. Shotgun again for Fargo South. High snap, this one will be handed off with Sadness. Sadness gets in the end zone for a 9-yard rushing touchdown, and the Bruins have retaken the advantage at 12-7. Sadness with a 9-yard rushing touchdown on his third attempt of the game. 3 carries now for 17 yards and a TD. We'll see what Coach Tyler Colesel does here. Does he go for 2 or the PAT? And they will try to go for the PAT and get up by 6. So Bruins with the lead. And they will come on for the point after attempt again for Dockin, who's 21 of 24 with PATs. Low snap. The hold is clean and the right-footed kick end over end on the boot. We have a new score with 4:33 left to play in the opening half. Fargo South takes the lead back here in the second quarter now at 13-7 on your liveevent.com. As we're back here on yourliveevent.com, Fargo South able to take 2.5 minutes off the clock on a drive that goes 37 yards for a touchdown. Spartans will handle it to the outside here. Fargo North. This is Adams Vandal, and Vandal is going to get met at about the 24-yard line. Spartans will handle the football here with 4:27 left to play in the half. 2 timeouts remaining, so they can run past, do whatever that they want to do here, and then from a Spartan point of view, you love to milk this down, put some points on the board, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, then start the second half with the ball offensively here for Fargo North. Last season for the Spartans, 7 wins, 5 losses, state runner-up last year. Fargo South won the regular season game, but then lost eventually in the state playoffs, going 1-1 a season ago against each other. Pistol formation, Ethan Welk. This will be a handoff. Haugo. Haugo right up the middle, bounces up to the outside 30 and tackled at about the 31-yard line. Coming in on the tackle for Fargo South will be Anderson Javon. Manapa for Haugo gets to the 31, make it about the 31.5, but that's a gain of 7. Talking with both coaches earlier in the week and asking Tyler Colesel about this rivalry. He said, simply put, this game throw records out the door. If it's 0-4, you still want to win it. It's still going to be a great game. If both teams are 4-0, it would be the same exact thing. And so far, it's lived up to the number 1 versus number 2 ranking here in the state. Motion man goes Haugo. They'll pitch it to the outside. Errant over Peter. That'll be incomplete. Now make it 2nd and 3 to 3rd and 3. A dangerous pass as well. If that is behind the line of scrimmage, all of a sudden it becomes a live ball. Instead, clock will stop at 3:42 left to play here in the opening half. Spartans right now on the offensive side of the ball, led by Welk on the ground with that rushing touchdown. 4 carries for 26 yards. Haugo 4 carries for 17. Welk through the air, now 1 of 6 for 19 yards passing. That goes to Zeller. Spartans 3rd down and short. Bruins 6 men at the line. Haugo with the football. Haugo bounces to the outside, has the first down and some past the 40. And Haugo with his best rushing performance of the night. To about the 42-yard line, a gain of 11. 5 carries for 30 yards for the future NDSU football commit. And now for the Spartans. Fresh set of downs right at midfield here. You can continue to go on that ground and pound game, and as we see that, we'll see if the play action comes a little bit into a play here as this game continues. Fargo South, their safety, one high safety about 10 yards off the ball. Trying to keep it as well in the backfield on a option play, and Cassette with his second tackle for a loss. That goes again for minus now 3, 2nd and 13. Cassette did a good job not taking the bait on Miller and staying with the QB there. Now makes it 2nd and 13. Fargo North with Miller and Haugo in the backfield for a majority of this contest and throughout the season there with Ethan Welk. That's a senior, guys who played a ton of football. Pitch play to the outside, Haugo, they got him in motion. Haugo, he's loose, 40, Peter, 30, 20, 10, touchdown Fargo North. This goes 60 yards for the score, and we're tied at 13 apiece as Peter Haugo hits Peter for the first time tonight. 6 carries for 90 yards and a touchdown. And a 2nd and long. Instead of going through the teeth of the defense, you pitch it to the outside to Haugo, and you give him a little bit of a crease, and he takes full advantage here for the Spartans. And now the ever-important point after attempt to take a lead here for Fargo North. Welk on to hold here. Snap, good, kick is up, and that's end over end and good as well. The Fargo North Spartans have retaken a lead here with 2:30 left to play in the opening half. It's North 14, South 13 on YourLiveEvent.com.
Every Wednesday night at 7, watch the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region, as we'll hear from area coaches in North Dakota and Minnesota. Plus, we'll highlight area high school seniors and their achievements in the classroom and on the court with our Senior Spotlight. That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation, Wednesday nights at 7 on YourLiveEvent.com.
For 20 years, 702 Communications has been connecting people and businesses to the world through internet, telephone, and TV. And as your needs have changed, so has 702. Our dedication to our community and customers runs deep. So when you call, we listen. And you can trust that we'll never stop working to bring the latest technology to our friends and neighbors. Thank you for 20 years in business. The best is yet to come.
For the Fargo North Spartans, a touchdown drive that takes 1 minute and 53 seconds off the clock that goes 76 yards, 60 of them on one play to Peter Haugo, and that's why Haugo is nearly averaging 20% or more on rushes that end up in a touchdown. It's a pooch kick, it's a live ball, North gets on it. Fargo South decided not to pick up the ball. It's a live ball. Jaden Middleton saw it bounce to the 27-yard line, then unable to pick it up. North recovers, and don't look now, the Spartans just got a touchdown, have a chance to come back and score, and again get the ball to start the second half of play. We haven't seen a lot of miscues here tonight for either team, but that one is a miscue with a live ball and a golden goose egg now here for Fargo North to try to take advantage. 2:30 left to play in the opening half. Spartans with their best starting field position of the game at the Bruin 25-yard line, and they want to make it hurt with a touchdown. Handoff, Haugo splits it to the outside, cuts back into the 20, and he's tackled there. Cassette goes up high for part of that tandem tackle. Also in on the tackle for the Bruins is Andrew Weber, but not before. It's a gain of 4. That could be a tough pill to swallow here for Fargo South. Whether the Spartans get a touchdown or a field goal here, again, they start with the ball in that second half, and sometimes it's one extra possession that can put you over the top in a game like this, and that's what the Spartans will try to take advantage of. Under 2 minutes to play here in the opening half. A broken I formation for Haugo. Hard count, handoff, Haugo makes a man miss, but then gets tripped up by the shoelaces by Kessel. If Kessel doesn't get enough of that right ankle, Haugo could have maybe had another chance for another touchdown. Instead, it'll bring up 3rd and medium. That was ever so close here at Fargo North. Joey Hughes out in the elements tonight. We've seen a little bit of smattering of rain, but nothing consistent. Full house crowd as you would expect. Standing room only here on the north side of Fargo. One wide receiver split out left-hand side is Schilling. Pistol formation, play clock down to 5. Option. Here goes Welk to the 20-yard line to the 15, and they're going to need the 15 for the first. We'll see what the spot is. He needed 6. Did he get all 6? And they're going to give him the first down. 6 carries now for 29 yards, and at least what that does from a North point of view is now allow the clock to keep going. Under 60 seconds to play, 2 timeouts remaining. Again, everything at your disposal with the ball at the 15-yard line. Bruins, 5 men at the line. Again, just playing that single high safety. They'll have man coverage across the way for majority of the game for Fargo North. Haugo makes a cut to about the 13-yard line. Sadness in on the tackle to the 13, and we got a timeout with 40 seconds left to play here in this opening half. We'll take a break with them. 2nd and 8 Spartans at the Bruin 13 when we return.
Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
High school football tonight here on YourLiveEvent.com. Fargo North 14, Fargo South 13. Make sure you stay tuned to our halftime show, brought to you in part by First Class Mortgage. Take a look at the first half numbers in this one and more. That's all coming up at the half. And stay tuned to our post-game show as well, when we'll hear from a victorious coach or player or potentially both. That's all still to come here later tonight on YourLiveEvent.com, in a contest that's 55 minutes old here, with 40 seconds left to play in half number 1. Pistol formation again for the Spartans. Fargo South's been stingy tonight between the tackles, trying to do that yet again here. Well, this one will be caught at the 10-yard line to about the 5. The Spartans roll their way to about the 5-yard line with number 5 and Hannestead. Hannestead will get tackled at about the 6, and Coach Rowland wants another timeout as 14 seconds come off the clock. So 3rd and short, 7 yards on the pitch and catch. Ethan Welk now 2 of 7 through the air for 26 yards. Hannestead with his first catch tonight here for the senior, but able to get him in stride there. Nearly was able to pick up the first down, as they'll mark it and about just south of the 6-yard line. So 3rd and short at the 26. Clock stops again with a first down, or if you get out of bounds. 14 seconds came off, but Dave Clunt wearing the white hat, they might maybe put a second or 2 back on right now as they're taking a look at the clock. And we'll see what they put back on right now. That is the 3rd timeout, however, for Fargo North. So a sack would be about the worst thing for the Spartans. If you get the first, you can quickly call 2 plays here in the huddle if you're Coach Rowland and company, and try to get going. 27 seconds here in the first. Third down upcoming here for the Fargo North Spartans, as this will be under center. Broken wing T, Welk under center. Rolling right-hand side, Welk pops a pass back right of the end zone. That'll be incomplete with 23 seconds now left in this first half of play. And for Coach Rowland, do you take the points here and try to kick a 23-yard field goal, or on 3rd and 1, do you go for it, maybe hand it off to Haugo, try to get a first? And regardless, Tyler Colzo wants to take one of his 3 timeouts here and talk it over with the Fargo South Bruin viewpoint. So again, for Fargo North, Welk does a good job on that particular play. You can't take a sack. If it's not there, throw the ball away and give your yourself an opportunity to play another day, or at least bring your kicker out here in Max Watson, who's 2 or 3 of field goals on the year with his long of 41 yards. This would essentially nearly be a point after attempt and try to make it a 17-13 game and then get the ball to start the second half from a Spartan point of view. From a Bruin point of view, after, again, the up man just not picking up the ball on the kickoff, they've done enough to this standpoint to try to get Fargo North out of the end zone. But they have at least one more play in front of them as Fargo North looks like they're going to elect to go for it here on 4th and 1. Got to watch the hard count. They need about the 5.5-yard line as that ball's at about the 6. Pistol formation, Haugo in the backfield with Miller to the right of the QB. Speed option, pushing it to the outside. Welk cuts back in, and Welk is going to get popped. There's an extra push across. Where's the spot? The clock will stop with 17 seconds. It's going to be really determined here on where the spot is. Welk was able to put his foot in the ground, but he's going to be short. He does not get to the 5-yard line. Fargo South's defense stands. So a turnover on downs as the defensive end on the outside for Fargo South came in and able to make the hit there with the quarterback with Welk. Thought that second effort might have been enough to push him across, but it'll be a turnover on downs here for the Spartans. If you're Fargo South right now, this might just be a safe play and about the goal line here and try to get to the half down by 1 with the ball at their own 6-yard line. Handoff. This goes to Semenko here to about the 9-yard line before he was tandem tackle. Zeller part of that tackle here for the Fargo North Spartans with Peter Davis. And that'll end our first half of play here for Fargo South. After 24 minutes of football here from the north side of Fargo, it's the Spartans 14, the Fargo South Bruins 13. It's high school football tonight with our First Class Mortgage halftime show coming up next on your liveevent.com.
If you want help from a firm that has integrity and respect, strives for excellence, and is interested in the betterment of the community, look no farther than Onstead Twitchell Attorneys. Our team of attorneys has dedicated and talented professionals who are committed to improving the lives of their clients and providing custom legal solutions with integrity and excellence. We have offices in West Fargo, Hillsborough, Maddox, Page, and Castleton. Or visit our website, www.onsteadlaw.com.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms. Saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage. Our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
I'm Darian Bitts. I'm confident on and off the field. And when it's time for college, I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
I'm Doug Gray. I'm confident during the performance and when it's time for college. I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is hiring a full-time play-by-play sports announcer and broadcast sales representative. Duties include selling advertising time for radio, digital, video streaming, and regional cable TV. Play-by-play responsibilities include live play-by-play of local sporting events for radio, video streaming, and regional cable TV broadcasts. Wage plus talent and commission pay structure with full-time benefits package offered. For more information or to apply, email apply@rjbroadcasting.com. That's apply@rjbroadcasting.com.
As we come back here on our halftime show, brought to you in part by First Class Mortgage. It's more than just their company name, it's the way that they do business. Whether you're buying a new home or refinancing your existing mortgage, their dedicated team takes the time to understand your financial situation. They provide first-class service, first-class knowledge, and a first-class experience at the lowest interest rates. For more information, talk to Dan and Greg, again at First Class Mortgage, and their team and company at firstclasscorp.com. That's firstclasscorp.com, or stop by on 13th Avenue and 25th Street. Before we take a look at the first half numbers, let's take a look at the scoring recap here tonight from the north side. Fargo North with 7 points in the first and the second quarters. For Fargo South, 3 points in the first and 10 points in the second. The Bruins got the opening points of the game on their second drive with a 34-yard field goal here from the Bruins, with Keaton Dockin with a 34-yard field goal. Fargo North answered on the ensuing drive with 4:54 left to play in the first quarter. Welk with a 24-yard rushing touchdown. Watson with the point after attempt made it 7-3 Spartans. Fargo South then got the scoring going in their next drive for the Bruins, as they were able to hit another field goal. Took a good 6 minutes and change off the clock, but the North defense withstood the challenge after going almost nearly 92 yards. They forced the Bruins into a 28-yard field goal by Dockin that made it 7-6. Then Fargo South, after getting Fargo North to punt, took the next drive for a touchdown. Sadness with a 9-yard rushing TD. Dockin with the point after attempt with 4:33 left to play in the first half. Then Fargo North with a 60-yard rushing touchdown by Peter Haugo, his 12th rushing touchdown of the game, made it 14-13 with a point after attempt for Watson. So after one half of play, the Spartans with a 14-13 edge again over Fargo South. Your drive chart looks like this for the Bruins. Turnover on downs, a field goal, touchdown, and then the half here for Fargo South. Well, for Fargo North, it's a punt, touchdown, and downs here for Fargo North. We'll take a quick break. We're back after this. We'll recap the team and individual numbers at the half again. It's Fargo North 14, Fargo South 13. This is high school football tonight on YourLiveEvent.com.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends, and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Every farmer has a good story about picking rocks. Want to hear ours? To this day, we pick rocks on our founder's farm, and they go into every Bell Bank branch we build. How's that for rock-solid commitment?
Every bank wants you to open an account. Then along come sneaky fees. Sneaky. If you hate sneaky fees, switch to Bell Bank. We give sneaky fees the boot. Bell Bank.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in North Dakota. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the NDHSAA and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
As we continue on our First Class Mortgage halftime show here tonight from the north side between the Spartans and the Bruins, let's take a look at the first half numbers here in this one. Team numbers, pretty clean game overall, just 2 penalties combined, 1 for North and 1 for South at 5 yards apiece. Neither team has a turnover here this evening. For the Fargo North Spartans, 142 yards of total offense so far, 116 on the ground on 18 attempts. The big scamper again, a 60-yard rushing touchdown by Haugo, then a 24 rushing yard touchdown by Welk has really been the lion's share of the load. Well, for the Fargo South Bruins, 166 yards so far, 91 yards passing and 75 yards rushing. First half numbers look like this. First, we'll start with the Spartans with the senior Peter Haugo. 9 carries, 96 yards, and a touchdown. Ethan Welk so far 7 carries for 24 yards and a rushing touchdown as well. And Miller 1 carry for -4 yards. Ethan Welk through the air is 2 of 8 here in this first half for 26 yards. And so far the catches of Zeller for 19 and Hannestead for 7. So that's a look for Fargo North. Again, Haugo with 96 yards rushing and alongside a touchdown. For the Fargo South Bruins, they'll go like this here. Semenko, 11 carries for 49 yards. Sandnes, 3 carries for make it now 17 yards and a touchdown. Nissen, Kobe with 2 carries for 8 yards. And so far here for the quarterback in Fargo South, Brevin Warwick right now 1 carry for 1 yard. Brevin, though, through the air has been efficient. 10 of 14 yards with his longest completion so far going 26 yards, as that one on the outside was able to go to Middleton, and also Hansgaard for a 22 and also a 26-yard completion. 10 of 14 again for Brevin so far, 91 yards, no touchdowns and no interceptions. Receiving, Middleton so far 3 catches for 25 yards. Kessel 2 for 13. You have Semenko 1 for 11. Mitchell 2 for 9. And Hansgaard 2 receptions for 33 yards. Again, at the half here for Fargo North and Fargo South, it's the Spartans on homecoming night leading it 14-13. And again, our condolences and thoughts go out to the family of John Darling as he passed away last weekend at 61 years of age in an ATV crash in Becker County, known as JD to those who knew him as the athletic trainer at Fargo North and in other various roles. He was here at North for 2+ decades. One thing that Fargo North is doing, and they have the helmet stickers on tonight for the Fargo North Spartans. They are wearing a JD sticker on their helmets here for Fargo North, and the coaching staff also has a sticker as well. So a classy move by the Fargo North program for head coach Roland and company here to honor someone, as Adam Roland said in our pregame show, someone that you just simply trusted, someone that you knew when you were going to talk with him, he was going to give you the good, bad, and ugly, and also just shoot you straight in what the injury was from an athletic trainer point of view, and really hold nothing to the parents or those around, making sure everything was best for the students at hand. Take a look at some other scores here in this first half of play. Fargo Shanley leads Bismarck Century 14-7 with 4 minutes left to play in the first half. Last night in the capital city, Bismarck High defeated West Fargo, the 4th-ranked Demons, 33-26. Midway through the first quarter in Minot, it's scoreless between Fargo Davies and the Minot Magi. In Double-A football, again, games going on tonight. Jamestown and Wahpeton, Valley City, West Fargo Horse, and West Fargo Cheyenne all over Grand Forks Red River. 4 minutes left to play in the first quarter. It's Cheyenne 13, the Rough Riders scoreless. Some other scores going on across the way in Class A. Velva Garrison Drake Anamoose leads Kenmare Bowbells Burke Central 42-0 for the top-ranked Aggies. In Class A football, number 5 Shiloh leads number 3 Dickinson Trinity 7-0 early in the first quarter play. And a good one in 9-man football going on right now. Lemoore Litchfield Marion 6, North Prairie 6 as well. Those are just some scores from across the way here on your liveevent.com. We come back, second half action is next. That does it for our First Class Mortgage halftime show. For more information, again, go online to firstclasscorp.com. That again is First classcorp.com or stop into their office in Fargo on 13th and 25th Street coming up throughout the week. When we return after this, second half action is next between the Spartans and the Bruins. Fargo North, or they are slated to receive the ball when we come back here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Keep your job site stocked with reliable service from Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Our team specializes in everything concrete. That means hand tools and equipment, rebar of all shapes and sizes, concrete forming packages and ICFs, decorative concrete materials like color, stain, sealers, and coatings. And let's not forget our impressive fleet of winter construction equipment to keep the concrete flowing all year round. If you've got concrete questions, we've got concrete answers at Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Visit us today at any of our 6 locations.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
Every Wednesday night at 7, watch the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsboro Economic Development Corporation. Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region, as we'll hear from area coaches in North Dakota and Minnesota. Plus, we'll highlight area high school seniors and their achievements in the classroom and on the court with our Senior Spotlight. That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsboro Economic Development Corporation, Wednesday nights at 7 on YourLiveEvent.com.
As we're back here on YourLiveEvent.com, a little bit extended halftime show again with homecoming, honoring the homecoming court and some of those Fargo North alumni here at midfield tonight on the north side of Fargo. A great crowd, what's really become a nice evening as well here at Fargo North High School. All things considered, overcast skies right now, currently around 70 degrees. Kind of has that old feeling of fall around the way. Nice bonfire night, if you will, with Mother Nature, if that rain just continues to stay away for a little bit while longer. 10 possessions combined in that opening half between the Spartans and the Bruins. It's high school football class 2A style here this evening between Fargo South and Fargo North. The Fargo North Spartans to get the ball in this second half of play. And we'll see the last time that there was a kickoff. Again, the up man for Fargo South just kind of froze and thought someone else was maybe going to go grab it. Didn't go grab a live football, and Fargo North took advantage as both teams waiting to see that clock go down to 0. About 30 seconds left after the warm-up for Fargo North to get the ball, as the Bruins will be kicking, as they always do in high school football, at the 40-yard line. If it goes into the end zone, it's an automatic touchback. Outside of that, it is a live ball from that particular juncture. And we've seen a couple of kickoffs go awry from a Fargo South perspective. One that almost haunted them back into the end zone. One that stopped at about the 1. They did eventually score a field goal on that drive, and the other one that was unable to get it. But fortunately for South, their defense stood up, and 0 points came out of it. And you can kind of say that opening kickoff for Semenko that went to about his own 5-yard line to the Spartan near 25-yard line when Fargo South was unable to get any points off of that. Kind of balances the situation out a little bit here. The Spartans in their all-blue uniforms tonight for Fargo South out in their all-white uniforms here this evening. Fargo South again will put this one on the tee with Keaton Dockin as the Spartans will be ready to receive and get this second half of football underway. Fargo North 4-0 in the season. Fargo South at 3-1, 1 versus 2 in the state. And here's just a little squibber. That's a live ball again. South tries to keep it, and they'll say he was out of bounds by the time he got his hands on the football and didn't have possession here for the Bruins, as that was Mason Klein, the senior, diving at about the 35-yard line to see if he could get on the ball. So a couple of just little pooch kicks for either team, as one did result in a recovery. This one does go out of bounds, so they'll take the 5 yards on top of it from the 34 to the 39-yard line, and that's exactly where Fargo North will start with this football. Second penalty for the Bruins of now 10 yards. Ball again at the 39-yard line here on the 6th possession for Fargo North. The Spartans with their center again, and Casson Dick. You have guards of Xander and Jack Miller. Buck Miller at right tackle, and Jackson Hagenis here, part of the starters for the Spartans. Zeller, the motion man on the tight end spot. Ethan Welk, handoff. Here goes Haugo. Haugo to the 40, past that to about the 43-yard line. A host of Bruins were able to come in on the tackle. As we take a look at a couple of them coming help and being helped off the pile. Alex Cassette has had himself a nice game as well with Andrew Weber. Those two guys have been around the football a lot tonight. 4 yards on the carry. Haugo now with 100 yards rushing on the night. 2 for 43. Fargo South up front again with Kessel, Weber, Anderson, and Hoffert on the defensive line spot for your starters. And they'll rotate a couple in and out throughout the game as well. Handoff, Haugo. He's going to get tripped up right at the line as they're coming in on the outside here for the Bruins. And coming down and making a good tackle was Reese Kessel at the defensive end spot. So they will give him a yard here for Haugo. Third down upcoming for the Fargo North Spartans. Here is Ethan Welk, the senior, with Haugo Miller. You're going to see Parker Dosh, Hannestead, Schilling at wide receivers. Tight ends again of Rose and Zeller throughout the season. One wide receiver split out either side. Play clock to 12. Fargo South continues with that man pressure defense on the outside. Welk rolls right-hand side, looking to throw the football. Now going to tuck and run. Takes a pop and loses the football, but well past the 45 to about the 50. And it looks like they'll give him the 6 yards and a first down. Pretty close to where that line to gain was needed. If Welk maybe waits another half second, he might have got popped at about the 48, 49-yard line before that ball came out. Instead, it's a first down with a gain of a healthy 6 yards. So one wide receiver, left-hand side goes Schilling. Near sideline here is going to be Hannestead again for the Spartans. Miller to the left of Welk in that pistol formation. Handoff, Haugo looking for a little of a lane, and Kobe Nissen comes in on the tackle after a gain of 5. So 12 carries on the way for Haugo for 106 yards, and this is exactly what Fargo North just kind of wants to do, able to take these runs of 4 or 5 yards. They'll try to break them when they can, and we'll see how much more play action comes out of it throughout this second half of play with Ethan Welk again at the quarterback spot. Spartans handle it here, as they'll be at the 45-yard line. Shotgun, Welk, QB keeper, gets it to the left-hand side and pushes right to the 40-yard line. As coming in on the tackle for Fargo South is Trayton Hoffert here, but not before it's a gain of 5. 9 carries for 35 yards. Makes it 1st and 10 Spartans. This drive again started back at their own 39-yard line. They've matriculated their way 31 yards and have taken 2 minutes and 20 seconds off the clock so far here for the Spartans. And everything pretty much on the ground here for the Spartans. 6th play of the drive for Fargo North. Bruins, they're going to bring 5. Welk has some time, steps up in the pocket. Pocket collapses, and Welk is going to get tackled for a 1-yard loss on the sack. Coming in on the tackle here for Fargo South to provide some pressure, there was Brody Anderson, the senior, for a 1-yard loss. Give credit because right off the bat there, Welk had some time to throw. Good coverage by the Bruins secondary to force Welk then have to try to tuck and run with the football. Makes it 2nd and 11, ball between the hashes. Wide receivers split out either side. Fargo South here again. 5 men right at the line. They got nearly 9 in the box. Handoff here for the Spartans. This will go to the outside to Rasmussen as Kobe Nissen in on the tackle. It's about 2 yards here for Rasmussen on his first carry of the contest. So 3rd down and 9, and what is 4-down territory for Coach Rowland if you don't get it? Well, we'll find out here. They can get 9 yards. If you get about 5 or 6, you got to feel that Fargo North will try to go for it here on a 4th down and short. Motion man going right to left is Rose at that tight end spot. Spartans, so 6 at the line with an A-gap pressure, and they're bringing all 6. Quick hitch going to be incomplete at the 35-yard line here for Fargo North as they were going to the outside for the Spartans with Schilling. A.J. Moore on the coverage, and now it'll be a punting situation here for the Spartans. Spartans take nearly 4 minutes off the clock, but unable to put it in for 3 points or a touchdown, so the Bruins defense, they'll bend but don't break. And now Bame will try to push Fargo South deep into their own portion of the field. Mitchell stands back at his own 5-yard line. Bame, a line drive kick. Mitchell at the 12-yard line makes one Spartan miss and another, gets the outside. Look at him go to the numbers, to the 20, and spins his way to the 21. So about a 9-yard return here for Fargo South. A really good-looking one for Dwayne Mitchell to give them a little bit of room. Bruins, and just for a second, one play to finish the half to end the first half of play, and they will start at their own 21-yard line here. 1-point contest with 7:54 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Fargo South again up front from left to right. Brody Anderson with Jacob Ordick at the left guard, Moody at center, Graywin at right guard, and Weber at right tackle. Motion from right to left. Little speed option play. This goes to Semenko. Semenko to the 25-yard line and carrying Spartans with him to about the 26 and the 27 for a gain of 6. 12 carries now for 55 yards as we have an injured Spartan on the play at the 25-yard line. We'll break as well here with 7:43 left to play in the quarter. Fargo North up by 1 on your liveevent.com.
For 20 years, 702 Communications has been connecting people and businesses to the world through internet, telephone, and TV. And as your needs have changed, so has 702. Our dedication to our community and customers runs deep. So when you call, we listen. And you can trust that we'll never stop working to bring the latest technology to our friends and neighbors. Thank you for 20 years in business. The best is yet to come.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota. If you want help from a firm that has integrity and respect, strives for excellence, and is interested in the betterment of the community, look no farther than Onstead Twitchell Attorneys. Our team of attorneys has dedicated and talented professionals who are committed to improving the lives of their clients and providing custom legal solutions with integrity and excellence. We have offices in West Fargo, Hillsborough, Maddox, Page, and Castleton. Or visit our website, www.onsteadlaw.com.
As we come back here, walking under his own pressure is Owen Bame here, the senior safety. So coming in now for the Fargo North Spartans will be Tanner Killen here for Fargo North. Tanner is a junior at 5'10", at 160 pounds. And also with Bame coming out of the game, if Fargo North has to punt. Now all of a sudden you have to go to a number 2 punter here for the rest of the game as well. But Hope Owen is doing all right, kind of holding his arm right now as they will take a look at him. Owen here for the Fargo North Spartans this season at that punter spot. And also that safety, we've said his name a handful of times on tackles for the senior at 6'3". So we'll start it now at second down here for Fargo South. They will need their own 31 to move the chains here on second. Shotgun formation. Semenko trying to get a little bit of a hole and maybe about a yard, and that's it. Good interior line play here from the Fargo North Spartans. Bjorkman was there to kind of close up the gap and able to find a way to Peter Davis to come in and make a tackle as well. Semenko now 13 carries for 54 yards to lead on the ground here for the Fargo South Bruins. Fargo South, first time they've had the ball offensively outside of just that last play to end the half, realistically since about the 2:35 mark of the second quarter. Shotgun formation, trips the near side, one to the right, single high safety. Spartans look to bring pressure, they do. This one on the outside, did he catch it? Oh, what a toe tap and a catch here from the Bruins and Dwayne Mitchell. Mitchell goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line. That's 5 yards, came back for the ball, got the toe down, and able to put his hand underneath the football and show it right to the official for a pitch and catch of 5 yards. 96 yards passing now for the QB in Warwick. On the opposite side, Mitchell, 3 catches for 14 yards. That was an acrobatic play right there on the outside for the Bruins and the senior Mitchell. Play clock down to 7. Fargo South in the gun. Twins both left and right. Brevin gets the play off with a second to spare. Quick hitter to the outside. That'll go for about maybe a loss of 1 or maybe nothing on the outside there to Hansgaard. That's coming in here for Fargo North. Hannestead was there on the first part. So that's going to be, I'll make it right back to the original line to about the 32-yard line here. 3 catches for 33 yards. Both teams with all 3 timeouts remaining here in the half as it getting to that 6-minute mark here in this third quarter. Just the second possession here of the quarter combined for Fargo North and Fargo South. Spartans, 8 men in the box. Hand off Semenko, looks to break it to the outside, gets the numbers to the 35, and he gets pushed out of bounds, and this one might be an extended flag. We'll see who is on. There's the flag. Now you got a little bit of a scrum to the sideline here as everyone is standing in front of us as this is starting to get heated. As Semenko still has his hand on the football, as he was getting barrel rolled out of bounds, but he had his hand on Sam Friddle. They were both kind of having their arms around each other when Sam and also Semenko went out of bounds. So right now it's about a gain of 9 to 10 yards. And then do we have offsetting penalties, or is it just going to be on one particular team as that went right into the Fargo North bench here? Cameraman Joey Hughes was saying it was getting chippy out there in the second quarter, and well, we just saw that chippiness maybe come to an overflow here on that particular run to the outside. Dave Klunt again is the white hat here. They'll mark it out of bounds at about the 40. They have it at the 43 right now, so it'd be a gain of 11 yards. And then we'll see what that flag and who it came on here. And the way Dave Klunt is kind of pointing, he's pointing left, he's pointing right for a moment to see if it's going to be offsetting penalties. But currently it's a run of 11, barring what the flag and what they have to say about it. So Adam Rowland got an explanation. Tyler Cole's on the opposite side, probably looking for an explanation as well, one way or another. As Klunt now is also pointing backwards for a moment here with 5:51 left to play here in this third quarter. So you got the pointer fingers going left and right. So after the play, got a personal foul on Fargo North. And also after the play, we have a unsportsmanlike on Fargo South. So it'll be first down Fargo South at the 43-yard line. So 11 yards on the rush by Semenko. It looks like Semenko was the one who had after the play, the unsportsmanlike. You had a personal foul there coming on Fargo North, more than likely with Sam Friddle, but it, again, was after the play on the unsportsmanlike and on those particulars, so it'll be a first down and 10 here for the Fargo South Bruins. Ball will be at the 43-yard line. The kicker here is with Semenko again. That's going to be an unsportsmanlike. That'll be his first of the contest, so he'll have to be smart for the remainder of this game. But after all of that, it's still 1st and 10. Fargo South, you're down by 1 with 5:51 left to play on homecoming night, 1 versus 2, and it's rivalry night. What more would you expect here between these two heated rivals? 1st and 10, Bruins shotgun. Having some time, Brevin looks down the field, has a man, 25-20, 15-10, 5, touchdown, Fargo South. It goes 57 yards to Dwayne Mitchell for the score, and the Bruins lead it 19-14. "57 yards on the very next play. Mitchell with his 4th reception of the contest for 71 yards and a touchdown. Brevin now through the air with 153 yards passing and is 5 for 5 in a row. Deep post pattern here as Fargo South now will look to go for the 2-point conversion, trying to get up by 7, it looks like here. As Fargo South will break the huddle looking for the 2-point, but they have the lead on their first possession of the second half. A touchdown drive goes 79 yards for the score. Shotgun formation again for Wark. Looking, going to the outside, Kessel. Kessel stretches, 2-point conversion is good. Brevin Wark to Reese Kessel for the 2-point conversion, 8 points on the drive, and the Bruins lead it by 7. Kickoff is next on YourLiveEvent.com.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms, saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage, our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
I'm Darian Bitts. I'm confident on and off the field. And when it's time for college, I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nb.gov/confident.
I'm Doug Gray. I'm confident during the performance and when it's time for college. I'm confident Bank of North Dakota will help me make good student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident.
One play after the unsportsmanlike conduct on Semenko, and then you had the personal foul on Fargo North. The ensuing play goes 57 yards. Work to Mitchell. And both of these teams, again, are putting their corners because of the running ability for respective teams more times than not to kind of have a one-on-one situation. And the deep ball for the Fargo South Bruins is a beauty. Now for Brevin Wark, that's his 10th passing touchdown of the season. And also for the Bruins, able to get the 2-point conversion on top of it as Dawkin puts the ball on the 40-yard line. Fargo North and Fargo South here on a Friday night. Dawkin, a high end-over-end kick that goes to about the 17-yard line, retrieved here by Fargo North as they're looking to get to the outside to about the 35, spun down there. Sam Adams-Vandal with a nice return to the 35-yard line for the Spartans. 7th possession of the game for Fargo North. 5:36 left here in the third quarter. For the Spartans, they will come out now and try to answer this touchdown drive. Both teams, you could argue, have led points on the board. Fargo South going forward on their first possession in the red zone, unable to capitalize. Fargo North could have had a 26, 27-yard field goal opportunity to end the first half. They go for it, don't get any points, so that kind of balanced itself out. But regardless, Fargo North down by 1 possession here, and they'll hand it off to Haugo. Haugo with the burst of room to the 50. Haugo into Bruin territory, 40. Little shake and bake, 30. Haugo could go. It's another house call for Peter Haugo. That goes 65 yards, and the Spartans are back within 1. What a shot in the arm for Fargo North. Peter Haugo, 13 carries for a $171 and his second rushing touchdown of the game for the senior. He has a rushing score of 60 and now 65 yards on the night, and the Spartans are a point after attempt from tying this puppy up. 11 seconds there for Haugo to go 65 yards for the score. Point after attempt upcoming. Snap, hold, the kick is up. And for Watson, it is good. We have a new score quicker than he can blink. It's 21-21 after a passing touchdown of 57 yards. Haugo with a 65-yard rushing touchdown here on your liveevent.com.
R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is hiring a full-time play-by-play sports announcer and broadcast sales representative. Duties include selling advertising time for radio, digital, video streaming, and regional cable TV. Play-by-play responsibilities include live play-by-play of local sporting events for radio, video streaming, and regional cable TV broadcasts. Wage plus talent and commission pay structure with full-time benefits package offered. For more information or to apply, email apply@rjbroadcasting.com. That's apply@rjbroadcasting.com.
Well, we thought we might see some fireworks on the field here tonight, and we're definitely seeing that right now here in the third quarter. Fargo South, here is the old roller coaster of emotions when it comes to sports. You hit a man on a post pattern for 57 yards after, again, an unsportsmanlike and a personal foul penalty. You take the 2-point conversion, you're up by 7. The ensuing play for Fargo North after the kickoff, Haugo with a house call of 65. And when you see a lane opening up for Peter Haugo, you can almost think that he's getting at least the first, if not into the end zone. That's his 13th rushing touchdown of the season, and it's a 21-0 ball game here in the third quarter. 5:25 left to play as Fargo North puts an end-over-end kick here for the Spartans with Watson back to the 3-yard line. Here goes Semenko to the 15-yard line, and he is tackled at the 15. Fargo North laying the lumber here for the Spartans. Coming in for Fargo North with the hit, Sawyer Shear, the senior, at 6'1". South will handle their 7th possession of the contest, and the question is how many more big plays are we going to see from these clubs here in this second half? High school football tonight, North Dakota Class 2A here in North Dakota, as the Bruins will come out shotgun formation, trips right-hand side, one to the near sideline. Semenko again with Brevin Warwick here at quarterback. Motion man is Middleton, right to left. Has some time to throw now. Pocket collapses, looking. This one will get thrown out of bounds. Good pressure on the way by Rose here for Fargo North. Joe Rose providing some pressure. Having time for a moment was Warwick, but by the time he rolled to near sideline, just had to get rid of that football. But Brevin, though, through the air right now is 13 of 18 for 153 yards and a touchdown. So not bad numbers so far for the Fargo South quarterback, but it's now 2nd and 10. One wide receiver near sideline again is Mitchell, who caught the touchdown on the last possession. North with the late shift, left-hand side, Semenko with it, cuts back, and he's tackled at about the 16. An ankle tackle coming in here for the Fargo North Spartans, able to get about maybe a yard on that after Joe Bjorkman comes up with a tackle. Semenko, 15 carries for 66 yards, makes it 3rd down and 9 for the Bruins. Still to come once we get there, we'll get to our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show, our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, final stats, recap what happened in this contest, that and more still to come once we get to our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show, and we'll get an interview or two along the way as well. Shotgun trips right-hand side with Warwick in the gun. Spartans, they're going to bring 5. Warwick rolls right-hand side, evades one man, has a little bit of room on the boundary to the 20-yard line. Warwick to the 25, and I think he got it just enough for a first. There's no flag on the play. 9 yards on the improvised run by the quarterback. His second carry of the night for now 10 yards. You roll right-hand side, you bring some pressure, and once that middleman at the linebacker spot for North missed work, there was just nobody on the near sideline, and Brevin was able to see that and take it for 9 yards and a first down. First downs tonight, there's been a plenty that have been by the nose of the football or just got enough on third down. Under 4 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Chase Miller, Joey Hughes with you here on this Friday night. Little option play, and Rose has none of it. Wark kind of froze for a moment, and Rose came in and laid the lumber for a loss of 3. That was just one where you're running the read option, and by the time the ball was out of the belly there of Sadness, Rose was ready to make a hit on someone, and he kept with the quarterback there, made the right call, makes it 2nd and 13. Second possession of the half here for Fargo South. Both teams at 5 in the first half of play. Both teams now with 2 here in Fargo South. There's going to need a timeout here with the play clock at 5, not getting the right personnel or the play call. We'll break with them with 3:10 left in the third quarter. 21 all here on the north side on YourLiveEvent.com. As we come back here on YourLiveEvent.com, update for you here for Owen Boehm. He's in a sling at midfield, so his night will be done. Short term, long term, you hope you can see him on the field, and that injury isn't more than maybe a week or 2 as he's putting some ice on that right shoulder right now. But Mr. Boehm is done, which means Tanner Keeland again getting an opportunity to play in the secondary now for Coach Adam Rowland and the Fargo North Spartans. 21-21 here on YourLiveEvent.com. It's North Dakota Class 2A football, and it has been a dandy tonight on homecoming night at Fargo North. 1 versus 2 in the state, 2nd and 13 Bruins as they will need the 35 for the first. Wark, 3-step drop, steps up, fires down the middle. That's going to be incomplete on the 45-yard line. Looking for Dwayne Mitchell. Fargo North did a good job having a couple guys in coverage, and now it's 3rd and long. A little bit of a crosswind coming here from the east to the west a little bit for the majority of the night. When we were setting up earlier today, it was nearly a true south wind, and that has been kind of, as these random cells have been popping up throughout the day, been changing the wind conditions here. 3rd and 13 for the Bruins. Fargo North, we'll see if they bring pressure. 6 men in the box right now. They will bring 4. Throwing, this one looking for Kessler, the 35, incomplete, and some good pressure by the North defensive line makes another incompletion here for Brevin. And for Wark right now, it'll bring up 4th down and 13. Coming on to punt for the Bruins will be Keaton Dockin, who handles a little bit of everything again. Punter, kicker, kickoff specialist as well. Fargo North with 2 men back at the 40-yard line respectively. Clock stops at the 3:01 mark. Dockin, right-footed kick, almost gets blocked. High end over end, that's going to bounce at about the 45-yard line. Take a Bruin roll into Spartan territory at the 37. So a good kick here for Fargo South to flip the field a little bit, and the Fargo North Spartans will start it off at their own 38-yard line. Fargo North with a chance on this drive to take the lead back as they had it after 1 half of play at 14-13. As the Spartans will handle it here. With 2 wide receivers near sideline, Peter Halgo in the backfield with Ethan Welk again in that pistol formation. Fargo South with those 4 down linemen They've been active tonight with those linebackers. Haugo splits to the outside here. They fake it to him, looking for the deep man down the field. Has a step to the 30, incomplete at the 25-yard line. They're looking for Parker Dosh. You give a little eye candy there with Peter Haugo. You pump fake there with Ethan Welk, and Parker Dosh had a step. He laid out at the 30-yard line, unable to come down with it. And for Fargo South, they catch a break. For Fargo North, just missed on a big gashing play. Brings up 2nd and 10. One of the better balls, though, that we've seen from Ethan Welk here tonight. Just missing. Handoff goes to Haugo. Haugo has a crease, and Haugo could go. He wants his 3rd touchdown. Haugo to the 20, 10, 5, end zone, Fargo North. Peter Haugo with a hat trick. This goes 62 yards for the score, and the Spartans lead it 27-21. Haugo with rushing touchdowns of 60, 62, and 65 yards here for the Spartans. Haugo continues to add up the rushing totals here tonight for 233 yards on 14 attempts. And his last 2 touches have gone 62 and 65 yards. Give credit to the offensive line again, opening up a little bit of a lane. And once he goes through that lane, Haugo has the afterburners for another touchdown. Here comes the point after a tip. The right-footed kick here by Watson is up and good. And the third quarter has had everything and more here versus 1 and 2. 2:36 left to play in the third quarter. Fargo North now leads at 28-21 on your liveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends, and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.
Third quarter here, kickoff after the Haugo 60-plus yard rushing touchdown will take Fargo South all the way to the end zone and will have a touchback. So for Fargo North, a punt, touchdown, and touchdown. And they haven't had a lot of time with the football either after missing the deep pass. Haugo on the very next play with a touchdown. Fargo North on their last 2 possessions, they've only had 3 plays because Haugo has gone 65 and 62 yards. And now for Fargo South, they're down by 7, having to dig deep now and try to see if they can get something going on this Fargo North defense, which has done a nice job in this second half. South with that big play across the top to Dwayne Mitchell. But since then, they've had to punt here for the Bruins, and we'll see what happens on this third possession of the half for Fargo South. Semenko handoff. This goes to 20, and Semenko, that's about all that he's going to get. Maybe about the 20.5-yard line as coming in here for Fargo North. Look to be Xavier Buckmiller. Love the name for a lineman, as they will give him the 21-yard line for a gain of 1. So Semenko here with 49 yards rushing in the first half. In the second half, carries of 6, 1, 11, 1, and 1. Makes it 2nd and 9 for Fargo South with 2 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Shotgun formation again for Brevin Wark. Wark has time, throwing across the middle, going to be incomplete at the 45. Dwayne Mitchell was the intended receiver. Carson Hannestad in on the coverage, makes it 3rd and 9. And we're starting to see the Spartans, after getting burned by Mitchell, especially with Justin Boehm again, Owen Boehm, excuse me, Justin, his dad, not playing here after getting a little nicked up, playing a little bit more cover too high or having an extra safety back there than what we saw earlier in the night, and trying to take that deep post pattern away from Fargo South offensively. Shotgun formation for Fargo South. Brevin Wark again in the gun. This one will go to Kessel at the 40. Kessel, oh, what a catch. Past the 45. Fargo North with Parker Dosh just unable to bat it down away from the outstretched reaching hands of the senior Reese Kessel as that goes to the 49-yard line for a pitch and catch from the 21 to the 49. So 28 yards there for Kessel. 3 receptions now for 41 yards. On the opposite side now for Brevin, 181 yards passing here tonight. Fargo South comes back in that shotgun formation. Speed, and then Wark just kind of runs into his own lineman for a second. Good pursuit here from Fargo North. You had Rose in on the coverage, on the tackle, also with him. Parker Dosh was there for about a gain of 1. Second quarter with 60 seconds left here. Fargo North, the last 2 scoring plays, Haugo of 65 and 62 yards, and the other for Fargo South has gone 57 yards. Third quarter, simply put, big plays. 2nd and 9 here for the Bruins. Right at midfield. Play clock down to 5. South with 2 timeouts remaining. Semenko with it, has a lane and a little real estate. 45-40 to the numbers, 35-30. Semenko to the 25-yard line, but they're going to say he stepped out of bounds back at about the 30-yard line, might be the 31. They'll say Semenko's left foot went out of bounds to the 31, so a gain of 19 yards here for Semenko. Semenko able to get to that outside. You saw the lane and a little cutback there by Semenko. Able to dance and get a nice healthy run. Semenko with carries of 8, 16, 8, 11, and now 19 for some of his best rushes on the night. Clock stops at 35 seconds again, going out of bounds. Shotgun formation. Brevin with some time to throw. Now will roll, and this one will be incomplete. Good pressure there by Rose. That's the 23rd pass here for Wark for Fargo South this evening. So you can see into the end zone. Again, it is a standing room only kind of crowd here tonight. This is kind of games that you enjoy as an athlete playing in front of. 29 seconds left in the third quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Bruins at the Spartan 31. Wark, handoff, Semenko. Semenko gets to the 25-yard line before he's met there for about maybe the 24, as it looks like, where they'll give him the spot for a gain of 7. Fargo South, they don't have to run a play if they don't want to get to the fourth quarter. It might be too little time here. They're trying to get to the line with 7 seconds, but it looks like Fargo South will be content to go to the fourth quarter. After 3 quarters of play from Fargo North High, it's number 1 Fargo North 28, number 2 Fargo South 21. 3rd and 3 for the Bruins at the Spartans 24 when we come back on your LiveEvent.com.
Every farmer has a good story about picking rocks. Want to hear ours? To this day, we pick rocks on our founder's farm, and they go into every Bell Bank branch we build. How's that for rock-solid commitment?
Every bank wants you to open an account. Then along come sneaky fees. Sneaky, sneaky. If you hate sneaky fees, switch to Bell Bank. We give sneaky fees the boot. Bell Bank.
As we come back here on YourLiveEvent.com, Fargo North 28, Fargo South 21 here. Fargo South trying to punch it in the end zone and have an answered drive here for the Bruins. It'll be 3rd and 3 at the Spartan 24-yard line. Semenko, 18 carries for 93 yards. Brevin Welk so far, 23 passing attempts. He's converted on 14 of them and currently has 181 yards to his name and a passing touchdown as well. For the Fargo North Spartans, Peter Haugo, 14 carries, 233 yards and 3 touchdowns. Welk, 10 carries for 34 yards right now and a rushing score as well. Fargo South, third and short. They will need the Spartan 21 for the first. Twins right-hand side. Handoff. This goes to Semenko. Semenko pushing, stretching, and lunging to the 20-yard line. Semenko 97 yards rushing now for Fargo South. Spartans with 3 timeouts remaining here in the half. Fargo South, they've burned 1 so far, so they have 2 remaining. Kessel lines up in the slot again near sideline here for the Bruins as Mitchell. One pushed out to left-hand side as Hansgaard. Shotgun again for Fargo South. Option on the read. This one goes to Sandnes. Sandnes past the 15-yard line to the 13, and that'll be a gain of 7. 4 carries for 24 yards and a touchdown for Sandnes here, and the Bruins able to open up the middle part behind the guards right now running in. As Rose will come out coming in as Peter Davis on the interior here kind of playing right over that nose guard spot here for the Fargo North Spartans defense. As Fargo South will come out again in that shotgun formation with Brevin Wark. Wark, handoff, little juke, little judder step here by Sandnes, who spins his way past the 10 to the 9-yard line before he's taken down. Sandnes spun his way to the 9 for a gain of 4. 5 carries for 28 yards now. Clock will stop. Dave Clunt will put it back in motion here after the first down. First and goal at the 9-yard line. Fargo South now has taken nearly 4 minutes off this clock on this drive that started back at their own 20-yard line. 2 wide receivers split out right-hand side. We'll see if the Bruins continue the ground game with Semenko and Sandnes. Handoff. This goes to Sandnes to the outside. Has it to the 5-yard line. Cuts back into about the 2, trying to move the pile forward, and the Spartans able to take them down at about the 2 or the 3. We'll see where they spot it. Regardless, a first down and goal play that gets closer to knocking on the door here. They'll give them a gain of 7. 6 carries now for 35 yards, and after Semenko was doing some damage, now it's Sandnes the one as we're under 10 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. Shotgun formation again for Brevin Wark in a game that has gone 2 hours old right now. North, 2 men in the A-gap, ball's free on the turf. Who's got it? They're going to say Fargo North has the football at the 20-yard line, running the other way here for the Spartans, and they're going to give it to them. Fargo North with the first turnover of the game with Billy Ward. Able to come up with the play here for the Spartans, the sophomore Billy Ward, Johnny on the spot at the 7-yard line here for Fargo North, and they'll mark it at the 6, So the first turnover of the game comes against Fargo South with the fumble as they were knocking on the door to try to tie up the contest. The exchange just was not good from the snap, and now Fargo North will handle the football with 9:43 left to play at the shadow of their own end zone. But the Spartans defense makes a stand. Now it's a matter of, well, you got to figure Haugo's going to get another opportunity. His last 2 touches have gone the distance. This will be a carry pass to 10 to about the 11-yard line here for Fargo North. As the Spartans get a little bit of room and get out of their own end zone area here, as Haugo's able to get 5 yards, and we might have a lineman down here for the Spartans. 9:25 left to play as Fargo North trying to come off under his own pressure here for the Spartans. Looks to be Jordan Zander. They stopped the clock for him, so he'll have to at least come out for 1 play. Haugo, no, for the carry, 5 yards. They'll give him 238 yards now on 15 attempts and 3 touchdowns. So the clock stops with 9:25 left to play as the Fargo North Spartans coming in now. Playing that spot will be Owen Messner, a senior at 5'11", 245 pounds, who will play the offensive line spot now for the Spartans. 2nd and 5, Fargo North at their own 11-yard line with Ethan Welk. Handoff. This one goes up the middle for the Spartans, spinning, running, and turning his way past the 20 to the 23-yard line as a senior in Jim Miller Miller with a gain of 12. Miller's first carry of the second half. 3 carries now for 8 yards. And Fargo North, they do not have to be in any rush again, up by 7. Allowing some opportunities here for the Spartans. Find that first down, find it on the ground, take your chance through the air with Ethan Welk when you need it. But if you can get 5-6 yards a boot, you'll take that either for 6 or try to bleed this clock out as much as you can before the Bruins get the ball back. If they get the ball back, for that matter. This one will come on the interior, and Adam Weber is having none of it. That is going to go for a tackle for a loss back to the 21-yard line for Fargo North. I was unable to go anywhere on that particular play, as that was Bjorkman on the carry for that particular play with Haugo on the sideline. Bjorkman, that'll be his first carry of the game, and can give credit to where credit's due. Andrew Weber, he wasn't having any of it, makes it a tackle for a loss of 1. As we hit the 8-minute mark left to play in the fourth quarter. Pistol formation for Ethan Welk. Handoff. This one goes to Miller. Miller to the 25. Breaks a tackle. Has the first. And stretches past the 35 to about the 36-yard line. 14 yards on the play for Miller. First down, Spartans. 4 carries for 22 yards. His last 2 rushes of 12 and 14 here for Miller. But again, the clock continues to wind down now at 7:37 and counting. For Fargo South right now looking to get a punt, get a fumble back in their own right. For Fargo North, the ground and pound game with Peter Haugo now in the backfield. Haugo, stretch play, cuts it back in, 40. Haugo, could he go again? Haugo to the 40-yard line into Bruin territory, and he's tackled at about the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. So 14-24, and give it now a 26-yard rush here for Peter Haugo. So at the 38-yard line here for Haugo, as Haugo continues to climb here on the rush. 264 yards on 16 attempts for Haugo. First down for the Fargo North Spartans. Haugo was 1 broken tackle away from having over 300 yards on the ground. He still might. Haugo to the 35-yard line, pushing Bruins with him to about the 31 for a gain of 7. So Haugo now with 271 yards rushing on 17 attempts. You like the law of averages on that particular play, as Haugo right now, last one coming out, as he's going to need a quick break here. And for Coach Rowland, with that play clock down to 15 seconds, Haugo will come out here as Fargo North will try to break the huddle and quickly get to line. 2nd and 4 upcoming here for Fargo North. Pistol formation, 2 seconds, and we're going to get a timeout for Coach Rowland. Just wanting to make sure with that play clock down to 2 and down to 1. So 2nd and 4 with 6:04 left to play in the fourth quarter. When we come back, Fargo North with their first timeout of the second half on your liveevent.com.
Without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in North Dakota. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the NDHSAA and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Back on yourliveevent.com, Spartans lead it by 7. Make sure you stay to our post-game show where we'll get to our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, our RDK Feature Precision Play of the Contest, that and more, all coming up on our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show. So both teams now with 2 timeouts remaining. Miller in the backfield here for Fargo North alongside Joe Bjorkman. After the timeout for the Spartans, this drive started back at their own 6-yard line at the 9:43 mark here in the fourth quarter. Welk, handoff, Miller little hesitation, able to cut to about the 30-yard line. He's wrapped there for a gain of 2. 5 carries for Miller now for 24 yards. Again, 17 for Haugo for 270 yards as that last rush actually went 6. But for Peter Haugo, he's coming back in here for Fargo North. Haugo coming into tonight had 441 yards on the ground. He has 270 here in this contest. As the Spartans, they haven't done it much, but they will go under center with Welk. Play clock down to 5. Pitch play. This goes to Haugo. Ball's loose on the turf. Who's got it? It's still loose. And Fargo North and Kessel recovers at the 39-yard line. A turnover for a turnover, and the Bruins have life. They were looking for the pitch play to Haugo, and the pitch just never cleanly got into Haugo's mitts. And the Bruins have life with 5:15 left in the ball game. Well, for Fargo North, the good news is you're able to take 4 minutes and 30 seconds off the clock. The bad news is Fargo South now needs 61 yards to have a chance to tie or potentially take the lead if they would get 6. And would Coach Kozel go for 2 or not? That would be the question. Regardless, Fargo South's defense makes a stand when they needed it. Shotgun formation, play clock down to 7. Brevin Wark in the shotgun. North brings some pressure. This one comes across. Is it caught at the 45? No, they're going to say it hit the turf. To Dwayne Mitchell, that would have been about a gain of 18, 19 yards. Instead, it's 2nd and 10. What would you expect on rivalry night between number 1 and number 2 in the state of North Dakota? This has been as advertised on paper between two teams when it comes to, simply put, a 1 versus 2 battle or a rivalry game between these two foes. High school football tonight on yourliveevent.com. As Fargo South will come out again in a shotgun, 2nd and 10. Quick screen to the outside is Middleton. Middleton trying to get to the numbers. 40, does the 45, cuts back in, tiptoes the end line. And I think Middleton, if he didn't step out of bounds, has enough for the first. And they'll give him the first down right to about midfield for a gain of 10. 191 yards now for the QB Middleton with his first catch of the second half. 4 catches for 35 yards. Some other scores at the half: Valley City and West Fargo Horace tied at 7. Jamestown all over Wahpeton 34-6 starting the second half of play. 1st and 10 Bruins at the Spartan 49 with 4:40 left to play in the contest. Wark, shotgun, has time, throws outside, has his man, Middleton, as he's wrapped up and taken down at the 44-yard line here on the perimeter by the Spartans in Adams Vandal. But not before. It was a gain of 7. Five catches for 42 yards, now 198 yards passing on the way for Brevin as Fargo South quickly gets to the line with a little sugar huddle. Trips the near sideline. Spartans, 6 men in the box, a little too high safety across, trying to keep everything in front of them. This will get pushed to the outside here for Fargo South. Fargo South to the 40, and a really good play by both. The tackle there by Parker Dosh, and Javon Anderson gets to the 40-yard line here for a first down and a gain of 4. As Fargo South with Anderson with his first catch of the night brings up a first down for the Bruins with under 4 minutes to play here in regulation. Other scores: Devils Lake leads Dickinson at the half, 21-7 Firebirds. Dickinson, a top 5 team in the state. 1st and 10 Bruins at the Spartan 40. Shotgun, pressure collapsing, and Fargo North gets him. It's a sack. A loss of 6 yards here for the Spartans. Coming in is Jim Miller. Miller with a loss of 6 makes it 2nd and 16. The pocket collapsed there, and for Fargo South, just unable to get it down the field quick enough, makes it 2nd and long. Other score, West Fargo Cheyenne leads Red River at the half, 26-7. We'll go through more scores later on here tonight. Second and long for the Bruins. They need the Spartan 30 for a first. Shotgun. This one coming across. It's going to be complete. There goes Mitchell. Dwayne Mitchell to the 10 and carrying a Spartan with them. Oh, what a play. What a threaded needle by Brevin Wark, and they'll mark him down at the 9-yard line. 37 yards on the pitch and catch. Mitchell, 5 receptions now for 108 yards and a touchdown. He's putting his name in the hat for our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game here for Dwayne Mitchell and the Bruins. First and goal with 2:40 left to play here in regulation. Again, both teams with 2 timeouts remaining, and Brevin Wark with a dart on second down and long. First and goal, shotgun again for Brevin. Another pass opportunity, steps up, and the Spartans sack him in the backfield. The Spartans with Billy Ward in on the sack. And that's a loss of 6 again. Ward with the fumble recovery on the last possession. This time comes in for a sack. A big play there by Mr. Ward. And right now, if you're Fargo South, with what you have for time and what you have for timeouts, you have to think this is the last time you'll get your hand on the football. And the same defensively if you're Fargo North right now, as we're under 2 minutes left to go in the contest. Shotgun for Brevin. Wark looking for the quick screen. Fargo North reads it perfectly. They get it to the outside of Middleton, and Middleton on a backyard play gets about 4 yards. Fargo North was ready for it on the outside immediately, and they took the quick screen away a little up and over that time for Brevin to get 4. Middleton 6 catches now for 46 yards. Brevin up to 243 yards passing. Wark, the junior quarterback here, looking for 11 more yards with 80 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. Spartans, do they bring pressure? They got an A-gap blitz. Here they come. Wark is going to get hit. The ball is loose, and it's covered by Fargo North, but they'll say it's an incomplete pass. Wark gets hit. Miller recovered, but they're going to say it's an incomplete pass, and the Bruins have one more chance, and Coach Kozel needs a timeout. We'll keep it here with 71 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. Fargo South takes their second timeout, so unless there's a defensive flag or South is unable to get it in the end zone, Fargo North then can just take knees and come out with a victory. However, if Fargo South gets it in the end zone, does Coach Kozel go for 1, or do you go for 2 here in this one? 28-21 Spartans here on YourLiveEvent.com. And the Spartans defense, 2 sacks on this drive. They brought some pressure right now, and we'll see if they continue to bring the pressure against the Bruins. High school football tonight here on YourLiveEvent.com. It's been an absolute dandy here on the north side of Fargo. This is an instant classic. Fourth and the ball game. You know, if you can say that, you've had a great contest. Fourth and the ball game here for the Bruins. Bruins fans and Spartans fans on their feet. Fourth and goal at the 11 here for North. Wark rolls, fires across his middle, caught, end zone, is he in, is he down, is he in, he's in, touchdown Bruins! Dwayne Mitchell with an 11-yard post pattern for 6, and the Bruins have a chance now to tie as they bring Dockin on for the PAT. 254 yards passing for Brevin with another touchdown. And now all of a sudden, they're going to need a timeout here, and Coach Kozel's going to take his final one. And we'll see if Fargo South elects to go for 2, or again, do they play for the point after attempt? Mitchell, 6 receptions, 119 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Brevin here. He's completed. He is 20 of 34 tonight for 254 yards and a couple of touchdowns. It's the only score so far here of the fourth quarter. First score for Fargo South since was the 5:42 mark of the third. But Wark hits Mitchell for the second time in this second half. This goes for 11 yards and the touchdown. Fargo South with a Dockin field goal, a Sandness run. Work to Mitchell here for the Bruins drives. Fargo South now with no timeouts remaining. If it is a PAT and it's good, Fargo North then would have 2 timeouts left to try to get a game-winning field goal and try to win this game in regulation. Otherwise, we would go to overtime. And overtime rules in high school football, ball's at the 10, and it's 1st and goal. So you get 4 downs essentially to try to get it in for 6 and eventually have a chance. We'll see what the Bruins set up here, as it looks like they're going to go for it now after the timeout. Tyler Kolzel and the Fargo South Bruins for the 2-point conversion. If they don't get it, you have a chance for an onside kick. If you get it, you're up by 1 as a man comes on late here for Fargo South. As the Bruins will come on with Hannonsgaard to the right-hand side. This for the 2-point conversion and to take the lead for the Bruins. And we'll have a timeout, or will we have flag? Well, we got a flag on the far side. If this is on Fargo South, for Coach Kolzel, might bring the point after attempt team on. If it's on Fargo North, it gets them a little closer. Encroachment on the Spartans. That'll be Fargo North's 2nd penalty of the game, as it's now for 6 yards. And you'll move it a half a step closer for the Bruins. Now essentially ball is at the 1-yard line. Well, this has been one of the more entertaining high school football games in the state of North Dakota this season. New Rockford, Cheyenne, Maddock, and North Prairie went overtime in 9-man. This one is rivaling that and more. 65 seconds left to go. They go across the middle, batted away. They were looking for Kessel. That ball is batted away by Sam Friddle. The senior comes up in the secondary to bat that away, and the Spartans have a 1-point lead. Kessel was open. If that one is maybe lofted a little bit more with air, Kessel would have a chance, but more of a line drive pass on that one. Friddle got his right hand on it, but the game is still anyone's. Fargo South now needs an onside kick. If they can get the ball back on an onside kick, they got enough time with a pretty darn good kicker who doesn't need much to get in field goal range. For Fargo North, find a way to get your hand on this onside kick, and the Spartans can enjoy homecoming night here on the north side. So the touchdown drive for Fargo South is able to go 4 minutes and 10 seconds, 61 yards, work to Mitchell. The 2-point conversion is no good, and at this point, that is probably our RDK Enterprises feature precision play of the game, that Friddle deflected pass. We might have to talk with him in the post-game show about that one if we can get an opportunity to chat with Sam. That was a very good particular play. Again, seeing that and batting the ball down, similar to a Hail Mary, just bat it down. But Fargo South, with one of the better kickers, if not the best kicker in the state this season, and Keaton Dockin. Both teams have 2 quality ones. Max Watson, you can argue, right there with them. But the Bruins, again, need it to go 10 yards and recover, or hit a line drive screamer off an up man and see if you can recover from there. Fargo South will put this one on the tee, as they got to make sure they got enough guys in the football field and make sure they're all properly placed. Here goes Dockin. There's the boot, and it's going to be recovered by Zeller, and the Spartans are going to hang on homecoming night, as all they need to do is take a knee, and the Spartans' undefeated season will continue as they try to get to 5-0 on the year. For Fargo South, they would drop to 3-2, but all that's needed now for Fargo North is a couple of knees to the turf, and the Spartans will hang on here in a very compelling high school football game tonight from Fargo North. Both teams are going to feel like they left some plays out there, particularly offensive, defensively, but you got to tip your cap to both of them. This was left all out on the football field here tonight between these two teams, as the Spartans go under center again with Welk. There's one knee. Just needs to do it one more time, and this will go final tonight from Fargo North. Peter Haugo, without question, the story. 17 carries, 270 yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns here for Haugo. Fargo North is going to able to muster up over 300-plus yards on the ground. Right now, about 330 or so on the ground as well. Takes this one to a knee. And again, that Friddle deflection in the end zone to bat the ball down is pretty much right where it needed to be here for the Fargo North Spartans. You tip your cap to both teams, but a final here tonight on the north side. Fargo North wins it in a dandy and a barn burner on homecoming on rivalry night, and for John Darling as well. This one goes to the north side. 28-27 is your final. Fargo North improves to 5-0 on the season. Their next contest, a date with Red River a week from tonight for Fargo South. They drop their second game of the year to number 1 ranked Shanley in 3A and number 1 ranked North in AA, as Fargo South drops to 3-2 on the season. And as a fan, we will love to see a rematch here a little over a month from now, if possible, between North and South. If you talk to Tyler, if you talk to Adam, I'm not sure if you want to see a rematch, seeing your rival in the postseason, but it's a final. Fargo North wins it 28-27. Our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show is next. We'll hear from a couple of players or two if we can, and on top of that, we will take a look at our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, foul numbers, and more. So stay with us from Fargo North. The Spartans take the win 28-27.
With reliable service from Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Our team specializes in everything concrete. That means hand tools and equipment, rebar of all shapes and sizes, concrete forming packages and ICFs, decorative concrete materials like color, stain, sealers, and coatings. And let's not forget our impressive fleet of winter construction equipment to keep the concrete flowing all year round. If you've got concrete questions, we've got concrete answers at Prairie Supply Inc., the contractor's headquarters. Visit us today at any of our 6 locations.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to our growers. Your trust and fellowship is the driving force behind our dedication to your successful farming operation. We continue to invest in the education of our team to ensure your customer experience is outstanding. Thank you for the opportunity to be your planter experts. Stop by either of our locations in Hillsboro or Drayton, North Dakota, or visit planterdoc.com.
As we come back on our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show, let's take a look at some of the final numbers here tonight in this one. And yards were aplenty for both teams here tonight. Fargo North would finish this contest with 364 yards of offense, with 338 of those coming on the ground. While for the Fargo South Bruins here tonight, 259 yards of offense. They would eventually finish here in this one with 395 yards of offense, with 259 yards passing here in this one. It was an absolute dandy in a contest that goes 2 hours and 21 minutes here tonight from Fargo North High School, as both teams are talking it over with their respective coaches right now on either side here in this one tonight. 28-27 as the Fargo North Spartans win this one on our Tommy's Express Car Wash post-game show. Let's take a look at some of the final numbers here tonight. Fargo North again with 338 yards of rushing, 270 of those coming from Peter Haugo with 3 touchdowns on 17 attempts. Welk with 10 carries for 34 yards and a rushing score of 24 yards. Miller 5 carries, 24 yards, but he had runs of 8, 14, and 2 in the fourth quarter. Rasmussen 1 carry for 2 yards, and Bjorkman 1 carry for -1 yard. Ethan Welk through the air 2 of 10 for 26 yards here tonight. Zeller with a catch for 19, and Hannistad a catch of 7 yards. For the Fargo South Bruins, 395 yards of offense here tonight, 20 of 30 through the air for Brevin in the contest for Warwick for 259 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Semenko, 19 carries for 97 yards here in this one for Semenko. You had Sandness with 6 for 35 yards and a touchdown. Also, Warwick, 6 for -4, and then Nissen 2 for 8. Receiving, Mitchell had 6 catches, 119 yards, and 2 touchdowns here for the Fargo South Bruins for Dwayne Mitchell. Hansgaard with 3 catches for 33 yards, Anderson 1 for 4. Reese Kessel with 3 catches for 41 yards, and Middleton 6 catches for 46 yards. 2 penalties for 10 yards here for Fargo South. You had 2 penalties for 6 yards for Fargo North. Fargo North with 1 fumble. Fargo South with 1 fumble as well. Again, your final here tonight on our Tommy's Express Car Wash postgame show. Fargo North wins it 28-27 on homecoming night. We're back with our conversation with a couple of Spartans after this here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Every Wednesday night at 7, watch the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Stay up to date with the latest goings-on in the region, as we'll hear from area coaches in North Dakota and Minnesota. Plus, we'll highlight area high school seniors and their achievements in the classroom and on the court with our Senior Spotlight. That's the YourLiveEvent.com Coaches Show, presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation, Wednesday nights at 7 on YourLiveEvent.com.
As we come back on our post-game show, joining us now is the head coach for the Fargo North Spartans. That is Adam Rowland. And Adam, as we talked earlier in the week, there's going to be a lot of emotions in a game like this. I see the helmet stickers there for JD, as you alluded to. It's homecoming night. It's 1 versus 2. It's rivalry night. About as much emotions that you could put in a 4-quarter football game went right down to the wire here tonight. What did you make from your team in this really a knockout battle against a rival in Fargo South, Adam?
Well, I told them all week that this is going to be a fight, and they're going to show up ready to play, and they did. I mean, I hats off to Fargo South and what they did tonight, and for a while there, it looked like both teams were trying to give the game away, you know. And we just talked to our guys, you know, good teams, you know, find a way to win, and it could have gone the other way. So both teams battled. I'm really very proud of our guys for grinding it out, sticking it out. Doing what they had to do to win a football game. You know, there's no such thing as a bad win. A win's a win.
And a win's a win on top of it. Let's talk about that 2-point conversion after Fargo South gets the touchdown with 65 seconds left to go on a 4th and goal from the 11. They call a timeout. Looked like they might have gone for a PAT. They changed their decision. They go for 2. They're finding a Kessel for a post pattern across the middle, and you got your linebacker there and a senior, Sam Friddle, able to bat the ball down. When you saw that ball get batted down, what's kind of going through your minds as a coach?
Well, you know, at that point in time, we were kind of on the headsets already preparing for overtime a little bit, you know, or actually to have to try and come back and depending on what they were going to do, you know, they went back and forth if they were going to kick the ball or if they were going to go for 2, and it's one of the things we'll never know. You know, we get a penalty there and then they decide to go for 2. We don't know what happens after that, I guess. So. I'm just proud of the guys and Sam here, you know, making not just that big play, but he made a couple huge plays today. So let's get to Sam.
And able to get to a nice win again. I know Peter Haugo with runs back-to-back touches of 62 and 65 yards, 270 yards rushing. But you mentioned it, the offensive line is going to do it. Defensive line got after him a little bit in the second half. They open up the holes. What can you say one more time about the line here, Adam, before we let you go?
Well, we were able to make some adjustments at halftime and kind of clean some things up. Plus make some adjustments to how we were blocking and even what we were calling there. And that allowed Peter to kind of shoot through those holes and make those big runs. So those guys up front did their job. and it's really nice when you got a big fast back like that to be able to take it to the house.
Adam, thanks so much for your time, and best of luck next week going up against the Rough Riders in Grand Forks.
Thank you very much.
Adam Rowland, head coach for the Spartans. We'll take a quick break. We'll hear from Sam next here on your live event.
For 20 years, 702 Communications has been connecting people and businesses to the world through internet, telephone, and TV. And as your needs have changed, so has 702. Our dedication to our community and customers runs deep. So when you call, we listen. And you can trust that we'll never stop working to bring the latest technology to our friends and neighbors. Thank you for 20 years in business. The best is yet to come.
As we come back now on our Tommy's Express Car Wash postgame show, join us is the man who made the defensive play at the very end of the game. Fargo South goes through the 2-point conversion. That is, again, senior linebacker here, Sam Friddle. And Sam, congratulations on a hard-fought victory to win it for, obviously, so many emotions with JD, homecoming night, rivalry, 1 versus 2 in the state. Before we talk about everything that was involved in this game, let's talk about the 2-point play. When you see that there's that encroachment penalty, able to come in a yard closer, as Coach Rowland was alluding to, and all of a sudden the QB's looking for, Reese Kessel on that little post pattern. What's going through your mind when that football kind of goes and you're able to bat it down?
Well, I knew it was the biggest play of the night because we were down by 1. But I don't know. I guess I just knew it had to be stopped. And, I mean, it's always a team play, right? We got players on him. Got players pressuring the quarterback, and that was fun. Take us through this game, because the third quarter there was touchdowns of 57, 65, and 62 yards. The definition of a roller coaster kind of game here, Sam. How fun was it to play in an atmosphere where it's a packed crowd, standing room only, and a rivalry night on top of it? Oh, it was absolutely electric. The crowd was just buzzing, and it was fun. It was really fun. What does this win mean for the program also? I know for seniors and anyone that talked with JD, anytime someone mentioned his name, just a great person, someone that was always part of this. Tyler Kozel kind of mentioned it, professional in both aspects with his family life, obviously, with him as an opposing coach, coaching, teaching his kids on the opposite side, being here for 2+ decades. I see that JD emblem on the helmet here, Sam. What does this win mean on top of homecoming night and for JD? Oh, it means a ton. I mean, JD was a hero for me. I mean, he was an idol. Like, I would always be in the training room. He's fixing up people, and I mean, he's just a good guy. You'd hear his stories, and you're like, wow, like, this guy is good. Like. And on top of that, for Peter Haugo, 270 rushing yards on 3 touchdowns, rushing attempts of 62 and 65 yards on back-to-back plays. What can you say? Any more words that maybe haven't been written or said about your teammate Peter over the last couple of years? Well, he's a great player, no doubt, and our line's up there helping him out. We got our quarterback making plays, and yeah, he's good. He's fast. He can get stuff done. Final thing for you, Sam, before we let you go, what do you hope to take from this football game? You got a really good football team again coming up next week in Red River in Grand Forks, trying to pick up another win. What do you hope to take from this one moving forward throughout the rest of this regular season? Well, we just got to keep going. This was a very physical battle, so I mean, you got to keep working. Make sure you just concentrate on that. Hey, Sam, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck moving forward, and congratulations on the win. Thank you. We'll continue after this on our Tommy's Express Car Wash postgame show on YourLiveEvent.com.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities. There hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota. If you want help from a firm that has integrity and respect, strives for excellence, and is interested in the betterment of the community, look no farther than Onstead Twitchell Attorneys. Our team of attorneys has dedicated and talented professionals who are committed to improving the lives of their clients and providing custom legal solutions with integrity and excellence. We have offices in West Fargo, Hillsborough, Maddox, Page, and Castleton. Or visit our website, www.onsteadlaw.com.
As we come back here on our post-game show, brought to you in part by Tommy's Express Car Wash. Taking a look at the final box score in this one. North with 7 points in the first and second quarter, 14 in the third quarter, shutout in the fourth. However, they win by 1. South with 3 points in the first, 10 in the second, 8 in the third, and 6 in the fourth quarter. Second half scoring, work to Mitchell for 57 yards. 2-point conversion to Kessel was good. 21-14 Bruins with 5:42 left to play in the third quarter. On the very next play from scrimmage for North, Haugo goes 65 yards for a rushing touchdown. Watson with the PAT made it 21 all, and then Fargo North would get the ball back. And on the very first play, Haugo again, after missing a big play down the field for about a 30-yard connection. On the next play, Haugo goes 62 yards. Watson with a point after attempt made it 28-21. And then at the very end, Mitchell caught an 11-yard touchdown, but Friddle bats the ball down in the end zone on the 2-point conversion, and that is how this game wraps up here tonight from Fargo North. Other scores from across the way in AA, Valley City leads Horace 14-7 with 9 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter. Jamestown's going to beat Wahpeton up 47-6 late. Watford City over Turtle Mountain 37-0. Devil's Lake, last check, was up on Dickinson at the half, 21-7, and West Fargo Cheyenne over Red River, 32-7, 3 minutes left to play in that contest. Fargo Shanley leads it by 20 over Century, 48-28 with 8 minutes left to play in the contest, and Minot High over Davies, 20-0 with 8 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Those are some other scores from across the state of North Dakota here in this one. Now time to get to our Enbridge Energy players game. Enbridge Energy, go to enbridge.com for career opportunities. Peter Haugo again finishes 17 carries for 270 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns here for Peter, who came in on the night for 441 yards with 11 touchdowns. So he is able to get 270 on the ground here tonight. On the opposite side for Fargo South, their player of the game, well, at wide receiver, Dwayne Mitchell, 6 carries, 6 receptions for 119 yards and 2 touchdowns. Those are our Enbridge Energy players of the game. Our RDK Enterprises feature precision play the contest. Well, you're either going to be down by 1 or up by 1, and Sam Friddle made it up by 1 for Fargo North on that 2-point conversion with 65 seconds left to go. The senior was able to come in at that linebacker spot and bat the ball down before it got to Kessel in the back of the end zone. That is our RDK Enterprises feature precision play the contest. Go to RDK Enterprises online to planterknock.com for precision planting updates, information, questions, and more, with locations in Hillsboro and Drayton. So what's next for these two teams? Fargo North at 5-0 on the season will play the Grand Forks Red River Rough Riders in Grand Forks at Cushman Field coming up a week from tonight. For the Fargo South Bruins, they will make their way down to Fargo Davies for a date with the Eagles. That's what's coming up for both of these teams. Tommy's Express Car Wash, our post-game show. Love your ride at Tommy's Express. Sign up for the Tommy Club through the app today, and new members get their first 30 days free. Tommy's Express Car Wash, with 2 locations in Fargo and 2 in Moorhead. They have the tools and the expertise to keep your car clean inside and out. Make sure you go to our website, yourliveevent.com, for more high school football throughout tonight. Also, some other games going on across the state of North Dakota and Minnesota. That and more, and check out more contests throughout the coming weeks. We'll have West Fargo, Horace, and Grand Forks Central. That'll be coming up around the corner. But thank you so much for tuning into our broadcast. For Tyler Kozel and Adam Rowland for joining us in the pregame show, and also Sam Friddle for joining us in the postgame show as well. On behalf of Joey Hughes, I'm Chase Miller, repeating tonight's final from Fargo North. Fargo North wins it 28-27 on homecoming night. That does it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and make sure you click subscribe on our YouTube page by searching Your Live Events.